get nasty on a Tuesday. It's a Fast Lane on 101 ESPN with Andrew Marsh, Carey Davis, and Jamie Rivers. I'm Anthony Stalter, 201 Your Time Check, brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler. Cardinals fall last night to the Toronto Blue Jays in extra innings. Another blown save by Ryan Helsley. Let's get
Told you guys.
Oh.
Sad, there's trouble in paradise.
That's what you want to do? You want to start off with the I told you so's?
No, I would not really have told you so. I'm angry, and I don't know how to project it otherwise.
You know what? That's fair. I appreciate your honesty.
Yeah, I'm just trying here, you know?
Mm-hmm. Hey, let's get into our exit survey. We'll start off with the biggest storyline. It's got to be Ryan Helsley. It's unfortunate now Ryan Helsley has blown 3 saves, the all-star closer. He was on a 31 straight save heater, as he was doing during a record-setting 2024 season. Now he's going through some troubles. He's saying all the right things in the media. He's remaining even-keeled, as John Denton wrote at MLB.com. But boys, this has become a thing now with Ryan Helsley.
It's concerning because this used to be you get up by a run or two heading into the 9th inning, just lock it up. We're done here. Hell's bells. Remember, Anthony?
Oh, yeah.
The lights went down, the red and the fire, and hell's bells. Not so much anymore.
He's walking out there.
Yeah.
I actually think he jogs. A brisk run.
I don't know. Whatever he did last night, he should do differently because it ain't working. And I don't know why. I mean, I'm not a pitcher. Don't understand what he's doing wrong or what the mistakes are that he's making.
Center cut fastballs.
For me, yes, he's hitting the meat of the strike zone a little too cleanly for some of these guys. Mm-hmm. Got to nibble a little more. He's got to make the stress should be on the hitter to find the good pitch, not the pitcher to give him a good pitch.
Right.
And Helsley's just blowing it, man. I hate to say that because what season he had last year, we know how talented he can be, but this year has just felt different. It feels like, I don't want to say like he's lost something, but opponents are barreling the ball a lot more than they were before. What are the numbers? I put in our document some of those numbers. I wish I had a brain to remember half of them, but I don't. But
you have a brain, Jamie.
Yeah, here it is. Opposing hitters are batting .400 against his fastball this year. He's walking more batters, and contact rate overall is way up. He's just not missing any bats. Mm-hmm. That's the bottom line, and it's showing.
Yeah, that's tough, too, to give up, not only give up the lead last night, but you gave up a home run, a 415-foot home run to Toronto's 9th hitter, Jonathan Clase. It's one thing to get victimized by, the Dodgers were just in town, so a couple of their examples, Mookie Betts or Shohei or Freddie Freeman. It's quite another to give up a 415-foot shot to the 9th place hitter there, Jonathan Clase. That one's tough. That's you've got 9-1-2 up, and Toronto's been swinging some good bats now. But that's you're coming off the 3-run home run by Ivan Herrera, and then Helsley can't hold it. You had Herrera last night.
I did.
Nice job.
Yeah.
Your lead expand. Well, actually, you just surpassed Jamie.
Yeah. I did it. Don't double check it. I did.
What's wrong with double checking? With this group, we should.
You should. I did have Herrera though.
You did have Herrera.
For me, it is. I mean, the ball that he gave up to Clase was smoked. The hit that he gave up to Guerrero was also hit very hard, right at Nolan Arenado. It was smoked as well. That, to me, can be a cause for concern. Like, we expect Ryan Helsley to throw gas and blow past people and it's swing and miss. They're not supposed to hit it. His off-speed stuff still looks good, but the fastball, like I said, the one that Clase hit was dead center, and he timed that thing perfectly and smoked it. So it can be a bit of a concern. I don't know how you fix it or if it's something that needs to be fixed or what needs to take place. But I go back to the game I was at a couple of weeks ago against the Diamondbacks where he had 30 pitches in that 9th inning. Like he's been struggling to get guys out, and that eventually is coming back to bite him in the butt. So you have to figure out a way to I don't know if it's a rest, some more time off, or maybe it's who knows. But whatever it is, he has to fix it.
All right, Marsh, you have another storyline outside of Helsley?
Just the comeback in general. The fact that you were down 3-0 and then all of a sudden you're up 4-3 heading into the ninth inning just shows that this team is really never out of a ball game. And I thought that was the positive that came out of last night. Ivan Herrera does hit the home run at a crucial time in that game. It just seemed like the offense was dead the entire time. We saw that a few times, over the course of a week, and this team's really never out of it, though. And that is something, as a Cardinal fan, you should be excited about, especially if you're going to the game. If it's like 3-0, it's the eighth inning, you're thinking about, maybe I should go home, beat some traffic. Wait a minute. There's a chance that they could come back. Now, they blow the game last night and they lose. That's unfortunate.
But the comeback.
It was great.
Comeback was still there. I hear you. All right, biggest kudos. I'm going to give mine to, Ivan Herrera would be, great choice. You guys got Ivan Herrera?
I got Ivan Herrera.
All right, there you go.
Yeah.
Throw him some praise.
Yeah, definitely. 2 for 4. Caught last night. I said whenever he catches, some reason he hits home runs.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know why that is, but he does hit home runs when he's catching. Maybe have him catch more. Help the lineup out some if you're able to do that.
Maybe leave him in just in case you need his bat later on.
Jamie, don't you come in here with logic, okay? This is not a logical place. Have you been in the fast lane? You saved that logic for the show that is before us. We're irrational here, okay?
Well, that's what I'm angry, though.
That logic is what that was.
It's anger, not logic. My anger is that leave the guy, one of the only guys who can touch seats. Why don't you just leave him in there?
You become more logical the angrier you are?
No. Way more illogical.
There you go. Exact opposite. For me, too.
Yeah,
don't worry about that. No, but Ivan Herrera touching seats last night, taking the lead in the game, outstanding. Like Marcy just said, you are never out of this game. You're never out of a game with this team right now, and that is the exciting part. And you would assume that when your closer comes in, game is done, but unfortunately that didn't take place. But they are in every game. I said this a couple of weeks ago. That's probably the biggest compliment that I can give to this team is they're never out of it. No matter what the score is, no matter how much they're down early or at any point in the game, you still feel like this team can find a way to tie the game, to take the lead, and put themselves in a position to win the game.
I think Ivan Herrera is the one to give kudos to, but I'm going to throw some to Andre Palante, too. Well, Andre Palante, we were just talking about him. Well, when do you go get Palante? When do you take him out of the starting rotation? When do you get, Michael McGreevy face a great Dodgers lineup on Sunday, and he did okay. When do you remove Andre Palante? He goes 6 innings last night.
Yeah,
7 hits, but a lot of those hits, actually not only just the hits, but the balls that were put in play. A lot of it was weak contact. He struck out 3, walked 1, and again he got you through 6 last night.
Yeah,
he wasn't great, but this was somebody that had been struggling.
My only gripe with Palante is his last 3 starts, the Cardinals start behind. In the first and second inning, they're chasing the game immediately.
Sure.
And I know that he bounces back. And again, he put together a solid 3-4 innings of scoreless pitching after that. But the stress has already been put onto your roster at that point. So I'd like to see him not do that at the start of games would be preferable for me before I'm going to anoint him like an all-star like you have.
I have not. Marsh, do you have any more kudos?
No, mine was for Ivan Herrera for the big home run. Wilson Contreras as well, taking that ball the other way, keeping that inning alive, which set up Ivan Herrera.
First base too, double play.
Yeah, no, that was great. Anthony, you couldn't have been more wrong heading into the season.
Yeah, I couldn't
He's
believe
been fantastic at first base.
Yes, he has. Yes.
Yeah, he's been unbelievable.
Yes.
He has been.
I was absolutely wrong. I'll say it every day. Need be. I was wrong defensively.
Necessary.
What's that?
It's not necessary.
Well, I could do it, though. All right, biggest criticism. I'm going to go to Jamie first.
Why are you criticizing me?
No, not you. Your criticism last night for the Cardinals, because I know you got a heater.
Yeah, I do. Guys, help me out here, okay?
I don't know if we can.
Just help me out. So let's just play a game really quick. Let's just not talk about baseball for a second, okay? It's the NHL. You're in overtime or last minute of the third period. You get a penalty shot. You have the choice of sending Robert Thomas or Tyler Tucker. No disrespect to Tyler Tucker. Okay? Who are you picking?
I'm going to go with Robert Thomas.
Okay,
How is he versus that particular goalie?
Nope,
I need numbers.
Don't worry about the numbers.
All right.
Carey, 2-minute drill. You're down into the red zone.
Yeah.
Okay? You have the choice of Ben Roethlisberger
Okay.
or Mason Rudolph to cash that football in for you. Who are you going with?
I'm going to go with 7. Give me Ben.
Okay. Why in the hell would you let Ryan Valade bat in the bottom of the 9th? He can't even touch a ball, let alone hit it. Like, he looks the part. He looks like a great late 80s outfielder. That's what he looks like. I have nothing against Ryan Valade. Probably a hell of a guy. Looks like he could party. I'd have a beer with him. No problem. But why is he batting? Is your lineup that thin? How have you screwed this up so bad that the only right bat off your bench is that? Taylor Motter was better. He was. Tell me he wasn't. At least he got on base a couple times.
I would say
I'm angry, Anthony.
I don't blame you.
you don't have anybody else there.
You got that's my exact thing, Carey.
Jordan Walker's hurt. You had Burleson and Gorman in the lineup.
You got Luke and Baker.
He's in Memphis.
Yeah,
I don't think they were able to get him up,
Carey,
that quickly. I don't know. I don't know
why?
the rules and regulations.
But why would you even have?
I don't think there's a flight that could have got him.
Carey, we're going to communicate properly, okay? We're going to talk this out. Why would Ryan Valade even be up here? If you're talking about a right bat off the bench, it has to be Luke and Baker. You've got him just sitting in Memphis. That's all he does is hit the ball. Well, he can't play the outfield. Who cares? Donovan can. Put him out there.
Burleson
At this point,
outfield.
put Sajasi in the outfield. Hell, put Herrera out there. I don't care. It's not like Valade's a gold glover.
The Cardinals do pride themselves on having catchers that can play other positions.
I'm just furious. I had a hard time sleeping watching that. And not only does Valade bat, then Victor Scott, who hasn't hit anything recently either. Now he's got to go. I turned the TV off. I'm like, I already know the outcome of this game.
Basically, what you were saying about the penalty shot, Robert Thomas or Tyler Tucker, I would throw Ryan Valade in the Dennis Weidman penalty shot category.
Oh, man. Yeah. You'd have to Google that one, boys. It wasn't pretty. It wasn't pretty. Although Dennis Weidman was a hell of a hockey player.
That's
I'll
fair.
give him that. He was a hell of a hockey player. Not a great shootout attempt.
No.
Once.
One and done?
Oh, it was in the break. We'll find it.
All right.
Yeah. Not often you end up 3 or 4 feet off the air with your feet flying through and banging your head off the back of the board on a shootout move.
That doesn't sound good.
No.
Doesn't
Not
sound
great.
good at all.
Nope.
All right, Cardinals and Blue Jays continue their series tonight at Busch Stadium. We'll play the lineup game next as the Cardinals will send Miles Michaelis to the hill against Chris Bassett. Lineup game next in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Car shopping can feel overwhelming. A lot of times if you're going to the wrong dealership, you can drive all around town. You try to track down the right vehicle. You're juggling different prices and promises from certain dealerships. But at Auto Centers Nissan Herculaneum, they make it simple. They've got over 1,000 new and used vehicles all in one convenient location right off I-55 in Herculaneum, just minutes from South County. No running around, no guesswork, just easy. And right now during the Nissan Summer Sales Event, you can get 0% off APR. For 0% APR, for 60 months on the 2025 Nissan Rogue and 2025 Pathfinder. Those are two dependable, family-friendly SUVs that are American-made and tariff-free. And if you're worried about your credit, don't be. Their financing experts work with all credit types, and they'll treat you with the respect that you deserve. And every new Nissan right now at Auto Centers Nissan Herculaneum also comes with a lifetime warranty and a 30-day return promise. That's peace of mind, whether it's your first car or your next family vehicle. So skip the stress. Stop by Auto Centers Nissan in Herculaneum or browse online at autocentersnissan.com. Auto Centers Nissan, it's all here. 5 at Busch Stadium. The Cardinals will host the Blue Jays. Miles Michaelis will take the hill against Chris Bassett. Game 2 of this series following Game 1's loss for the Cardinals in extra innings. We just got done doing our exit survey, and now we play the lineup game with the lineup being out with Andrew Marsh, Carey Davis, and Jamie Rivers. I'm Anthony Stalter. All right, boys. Chris Bassett is a right-hander.
Show us Lars Nootbaar.
Surprise, surprise.
I was going to try and stop you there. I was going to try and stop you.
Jamie, I just felt like
I
we should
put it
run
on
it
the
back out
dock
there.
today.
We didn't get to it yet.
I know.
And
I don't
who
know
knows?
anything more than you do. Trust me.
Yeah.
We'll get into it later. We are going to talk about Lars Nootbaar, whether his time has come to an end as the leadoff batter.
He's batting 161 in
Not
the
great.
month of June.
Not great. To me, this has to be Donnie Baseball.
Go for it.
You do it.
Show us Brendan Donovan.
I'm sorry.
Oh, wow.
It's wrong.
Sorry,
Your
Mason Wynn.
Your best OBP guy. No big deal.
Mason
gotta hit
Wynn
third.
or Victor Scott.
I think it's Mason Wynn.
Wow.
With Victor Scott struggling, I think it's Mason Wynn.
Yeah, it ain't Scott.
I just went. You go ahead.
Show us Mason Wynn.
Duncan! Bring me that
Okay, so
It's Newt now? Did
who
he pull the
bat
old flip-flop?
to? This will get him.
I'll show you.
So maybe you put Donnie here, and then Herrera, and then Contreras, and then Nootbaar.
So you're saying Donovan here.
Donovan here.
So you just kind of move everybody up a little bit.
and move Newt to 5th.
I'm okay with
Or is-
Donovan here.
Yeah.
Okay.
You think?
Yeah.
You like that?
Hey, well, I mean, hey,
You
we're
know?
off to a bit of a rough start. So we're open to all kinds of
Marsh
suggestions
is
here.
squeezing his nose like, oh, these idiots. Like he did the, oh, God. Like he had the
that had
migraine.
Nothing
gotta
to do with
squeeze.
you. That had nothing to do with you. I just,
Sinuses.
buddy?
No, I'm great. I just had to wipe my eyes a little bit.
We were tearing them up with the dumbass decisions we're making over here.
Yeah,
What
it
do you-
does work. Yeah.
What are you thinking about these days? You okay?
I'm fine. I'm just.
Get the hair all styled
Yeah,
up today.
I did.
huh?
Yeah. Yeah, I had a little cleanup.
Did you get a little blowout, as they call it? Yeah.
I got the
That's
old,
what they call it, Carey.
the old Jamie Rivers 1994 special.
I see that. Yeah, it looks nice.
It's pretty
Thank you.
accurate,
Looks
actually.
nice.
Thank you.
All right, Carey, go ahead.
Show us Brendan Donovan.
What a shame.
Way to go, Carey.
I don't know what the hell they're doing.
Do you think nude here?
What about Ivan Herrera here?
Okay, whoa, slow. He's running downhill right now.
I'm just saying. He's batted second this year, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Okay. But don't let me give you guys any ideas.
Show us Ivan Herrera.
No, do it.
Oh, Yvonne! That's a French-ass name.
I believe you, Carey.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
No, you were spiteful. You wanted to show him off.
No, I did not. I would have just said, well, fine, you say it then.
It made sense
I
after
believe in you.
This guy
Heard it out
is going to be
loud.
Donnie Baseball here, number
Yeah.
3.
Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, of
right.
course, naturally.
Show
Absolutely.
us Donnie Baseball.
Look at that guy. Vibrant, handsome, hair.
Okay, so now we're okay. Now it's Wilson.
Yeah.
Show us Wilson Contreras.
You don't know how to play first base. It's not that hard. Tell him, Wash.
It's incredibly hard.
Hey, anything worth doing is.
I thought we may have seen Valade at the cleanup spot.
Yeah, with the way he's been
You guys.
walking up to the plate. Do we do Nolan Arenado here, or is it Alec Burleson?
So you think
Or Newt?
Newt is out? You think Newt is out today?
I mean,
You gonna give him a
okay,
day off?
here's my thing. You don't have Newt leading off. Mm-hmm. Well, how much sense does it make to just move him to 5th? Why not just give him a day off first?
And then move him to 5th?
Like, if you're going to punish him, do it right.
Yeah,
You guys like punishing people, huh?
absolutely. So do you. That's why you're here.
You're right.
So-
you know me.
Do we think Arenado or do we think Burley or
Let's go
Gorman?
Burley and then
I'd say
Arenado.
Burley, then Arenado. I don't
with you
think
guys.
I'm ready to move him out of the 6 hole yet.
So Newt is off today. That's where we're going.
Yeah, we're gonna go with Newt's
At
off
this
today.
point, yeah.
Yeah.
Off his rocker.
Oh, wow.
Show us.
Look at you.
Go ahead.
No.
Yeah. Alec.
Burleson.
You're already acting like you're a star, and we haven't even opened yet.
Yeah, Anthony, go ahead.
Show us.
Nolan Arenado.
A lot of people think you get in your mid-30s and your career's over, but like I always say, until they stop scouting, I ain't going to stop playing.
This buddy Pa has here, right? 7?
Yeah.
Pages, and then
What are we
Gorman.
missing?
You need a catcher or a DH. I don't think Herrera's catching twice.
I think
No.
Gorman's DHing.
Gorman DH in 8
Yeah.
in the 8 spot.
Then Herrera's catching?
Oh no. I don't agree with that.
All right, well, Gorman's been swinging the bat
Oh,
pretty
you
damn
need a second
good.
baseman. So Gorman could be 8th.
Donovan playing the
Donovan
outfield
playing
for
left
Newt.
field.
Let's do it. So Nolan Gorman here.
Go for
Nolan
it.
Gorman or
Gorman.
Pages?
Gorman.
Gorman.
You do it.
Show us. Nolan Gorman.
Swing Serenade is brought
Good
to you
job,
by
guys.
Gorman's.
Hang me a curve and I will hit.
Now Pages.
Yeah.
And then Scott. All right.
Yeah.
Sure, it's Pedro Pages.
Smithies, throw this at him.
You're out! Maybe. Now hear me out.
Yes, sir.
Victor Scott's been pretty bad, too, at the plate. And he single-handedly gave the Blue Jays a home run yesterday.
Okay.
He might as well have been Jose Canseco. Okay?
Oh.
No?
One was pure athleticism, just bad luck. The other one was just not athletic at
The other
all.
one wasn't going to be a home run, and he knocked it out.
Neither was Canseco's.
Yeah, Canseco hit him right on top of the head.
Guys, I know
and
that's
bounced.
the joke. Okay? That's the joke. Come on.
Victor actually made a play on the ball.
Yeah.
He did. He pushed it over the wall.
Bad luck.
It's just bad luck. Get off his glove. Man, things happen.
All right, go ahead. You guys want him in the lineup? Fine. I want to punish him.
Show us, Victor.
Scott, the second.
Run.
Oh, well, we'll see how this works out.
I'm the gingerbread man.
Oh, Jamie. All right.
Don't
Run
be
it.
disgusted with me.
Run it,
There's
Marsh.
plenty of people in my world that are disgusted with me. I don't need
know.
you to be
You're
another
right.
one.
You're right.
All right, leading off the shortstop, Mason Wynn. Batting second, DH, Ivan Herrera. Batting third in left field, Brendan Donovan. Your cleanup hitter, first baseman, Wilson Contreras. Batting fifth in right field is Alec Burleson. Batting sixth, third baseman, Nolan Arenado. Batting seventh, playing second base, Nolan Gorman. Batting eighth and catching is Pedro Pages. And batting ninth in center field, Victor Scott, the second.
Back. They fair. Go fair.
I don't believe what I just saw.
Home run.
All right, so with Carey's home run last night, that being Ivan Herrera's home run, Carey is now back in the lead. Just took one day. That was it. Jamie had the lead one day. Actually, it was multiple days because it was the weekend. But
Yeah. Nobody's counting.
so what's the latest standings?
So Carey has 8 points. Jamie has 7. Anthony, you are at 5, and I'm still at 3.
All right.
Marsh, your first home run was a 3, wasn't it?
Yep.
Like second game.
It was very early on in the
Or
season.
you know what?
Trying to rub it in, isn't he?
No, I'm not running it in. I'm just look. I'm not much better. 5.
So because
It's been a while.
They haven't hit a lot of home runs, guys. So.
just pointed a finger at me.
Yeah, I did.
I'm not going to say which one it is.
This one, right here.
Wilson Contreras. You want to do it again?
Oh wow.
Yeah, I want to do this one instead.
All right. So
Never disliked you so much in my life. Okay, Ivan Herrera.
He ain't not going to do it 2 days in a row.
give me Mason Wynn, please and thank you.
I'm going to take Alec Burleson tonight.
Your guy,
It's my guy.
St. Louis hero. All
St.
right.
Louis Star.
Star.
Let's get it right.
Well, Star and a hero. Carey just took Wilson Contreras. Jamie took Ivan Herrera. I went with Mason Wynn. And Marsh just selected Alec Burleson for our home run game. Whew. Series is not over. Not at all. But Carey and the Oilers have a lot of work to do after last night.
That name ain't Stewart. Tell you that.
Embarrassing performance all over around for Edmonton. We'll get into it next on 101 ESPN.
Johnny Londoff Chevrolet. 2 locations now available in the St. Louis area. You got the original location right there in Florissant, Missouri. We know where it's been. It's been there forever. Well, they got a brand new one as well, located out in St. Peter's, called the Londoff Autoplex. Jim Saffo out there doing a great job with his group, and both locations have great inventory. Whether you're looking for a brand new vehicle or a pre-owned vehicle, Londoff Chevrolet with 2 locations has got you covered. Whatever your price range is, whatever model you're looking for, guarantee they're going to have something that you like. And you can get online too, and you can get pre-approved. And then when you show up to the lot, you know exactly what falls into your category of what your budget can afford. And then the sales staff, they take over from there, and they're helpful. It's not like it used to be where you used to feel stressed to go to the car lot. No, they're there to help you. They want you to find the car of your dreams. They want the car to be great for you, and they want you to be completely satisfied. And Johnny Londoff, the Chevrolet, their whole thing is great customer satisfaction. I've been a customer for over 25 years, and not once have I ever been displeased with my customer service. So please get to either location. Tell them that Jamie Rivers sent you in, or you can visit them online at londoff.com or londoffautoplex.com. Are you kidding me?
Johnny Londoff Chevrolet.
ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. The Cardinals blow the comeback as Ryan Helsley suffers his 3rd blown save in a row. The Cardinals fall to the Blue Jays in extras by a final score of 5-4. The Redbirds back in action tonight Miles Michaelis on the mound going up against Chris Bassett. First pitch tonight is at 6:45. Last night, the Florida Panthers took care of business on home ice in Game 3, a 6-1 win over the Edmonton Oilers. The Panthers now lead the series 2-1, and we're going to talk about Game 3 next right here in the Fast Lane. I'm Andrew Marsh, and this Sports Center update is driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. See them at londoff.com. Chevy, together we drive. Are you kidding me? What if I told you that a jet black beard was on the line? That a series could change with one simple text message? That a team of rats could take down the best player in the world? What if I told you that 2 teams are supposed to show up instead of 1? That the hockey god could outshine the hockey guy? 101 ESPN's The Fast Lane Ryan Day Challenge, the 2025 Stanley Cup Final.
Now the Panthers with a 2-0. Moving in on Skinner. Score! Bennett! 4-1 Florida.
What an incredible intro by our guy, Andrew Marsh, who, of course, has a jet black beard on the line, otherwise known as the Ryan Day. That's what's on the line for Marsh. Well, all of us, but Marsh and CD after CD decided to hex Edmonton in Game 1.
What if I told you? Or
Game 2, excuse me.
That was really good, Marshy.
Nice job.
Thank you.
So Florida imposed its physical grinding style on Edmonton in Game 3 last night. They win 6-1 in a game that wasn't even that close. They take a 2-1 series lead. I didn't feel like it was that close, do you? 6-1?
It was out of reach early.
Felt like 12-1.
Yeah, should have been.
Mm-hmm. So unlike Game 1 and Game 2, Game 3 completely lopsided, less entertaining for Carey and Marsh. Jamie and I loved it. Exactly the way Florida wanted it. Panthers got scoring from, once again, Brad Marchand. Nice job, Marsh.
The Rat King himself.
The Rat King himself.
I was laughed out of the building.
By Carey and Jamie, you were.
I don't think I laughed.
Sam Bennett.
Actually, I think Jamie's the only one that agreed with me.
I don't think I would have.
I was the only one that agreed with you.
I disagreed at all. I don't know.
You know what?
We all agreed.
1, 2, 3, Stuart Skinner. And I said Brad Marchand, and you guys laughed me out of the building.
Well, because
that was a different question.
It was
definitely the same question.
Well, okay. So then, how much of an impact did Stuart Skinner have on the game last night?
Oh, yeah.
My client brings up a good point.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm just saying,
the biggest impact.
I would say yes.
I'm just saying, you guys laughed me out of the building.
You know, Marsh, we tried to give you credit, and you ruined it.
Yeah.
Anthony, you're getting real, never mind.
Aggressive today.
I'm just pointing out facts.
You were sending out text messages last night like the series is wrapped up. That's all.
No.
They said series is over.
No.
It's over. It's a wrap.
Let's
Connor
see.
McDavid, Leon Draisaitl, what have they ever done in their lives?
By the way,
those 2 guys
Carey,
stink.
The 3 of us have gotten together, and several people in the text line, and my inbox has been flooded on Twitter.
By what?
But the Ryan Day challenge.
Oh, yeah.
Some people feel that you dyeing your beard jet black really isn't that much of a punishment.
Because I'm a black man?
Yeah, part of it. Part of it, yeah.
We weren't going to say it.
Deal's a deal. The deal has been signed.
Hear me out. Because
sealed and delivered.
Hear me out.
I'm yours.
Because I've got the white hair with the black beard. It would be hilarious, right?
It would be.
Yeah, so in order to match that on each side, what if Carey Davis, it's been suggested by Anthony, great job, Anthony, that you dye your beard blonde and not black?
Hell no. I mean, if you would have came up with this prior to us agreeing to terms,
it's only fair.
Yeah. No, we
I'm white. I dye my beard black.
We're not able to sit back at the negotiating table.
You dye your beard blonde.
So I don't think
it's all disguise. Come on, we got the most to lose, Carey. I thought you were confident.
I'm very confident. And I love my salt and pepper, and me going with just black is going to be hard on me to deal with.
Terrible.
For a week or 2, however long it takes for
my
this.
My son said,
he
goes, you're going to look like Kimbo Slice.
There you go. That's fine.
Yeah. That's not an insult.
I mean, Kimbo was...
He's a guy who was jacked.
He was.
Tough guy.
Man, yeah.
Big
absolutely.
Beard on him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can't grow a beard. It sucks.
Yeah,
It's like I'll have
you're going to
to-
be painting your face.
I don't want to do that.
All right, let's get into last night. I thought that the way that the Panthers closed lanes, they clogged the neutral zone, they denied McDavid space all night. That was the key. Ekblad sends McDavid flying with that highlight reel, hit, the open ice hit.
That was a slew foot, Anthony.
That was a beating.
Florida now leads the playoffs in hits per 60 minutes. Game 3 was certainly proof of that. I mean, the way that Florida, that is the way that Florida wants to win games right there. Physically punishing and just opens things up. And not that they didn't have help from guys like Stuart Skinner, who was Florida's best player last night. But
Evander Kane, probably a close second.
Maybe. Last night was, beautifully done by Florida.
So I love the Oilers after the game, talking about, or trying to send a message, all that. No, you weren't. You really weren't.
Who was trying to send a message?
The
Edmonton?
Oilers. You really weren't.
By losing by 5?
By doing all the shenanigans at the end of the game. Like going after
Florida
guys.
was so in their head.
Florida was loving it. Every time an Oiler took a penalty or punched a Panther in the face, it was like another thing to the good for the Panthers. Like, we got him. We got him. Evander Kane, Corey Perry, Kasperi Kapanen. By the way, Marshy, when did Evan Bouchard or Jake Wallman become tough in hockey?
I don't think they are.
They're not. Did you see them last night? Slashing guys in the back of the legs, cross-checking. Wallman... Kachuk's, both of his arms are held behind his back, basically. Wallman punches him in the face. Wallman spraying the water bottle into the Panthers bench. The Oilers better figure it out here because the wheels feel like they're shaking. I don't think they haven't fallen off.
Series is definitely not over, Jamie.
No, but hear me out.
Far from
That's not what you said last night.
The wheels are shaking.
It's literally what I said.
It's up to McDavid and Draisaitl to steady the ship here if they can. Now, we know that last year they did. Florida down 3-0. Came all the way back, forced a Game 7, lost by 1 goal.
Edmonton down 3-0.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Edmonton down 3-0. Came back, lost by 1 goal in Game 7. So by no means is Florida ordering rings yet. No, by no means am I pronouncing the Oilers dead. But what I watched last night was a team completely unravel at the style of play that the Panthers are playing against the Oilers right now.
Can we get into Stuart Skinner, please?
Absolutely.
Get into him.
Panthers certainly did last night.
Got into him last night, early and often.
Not much to get into him.
It didn't take much.
No.
Jamie, help me understand this.
I'll try.
I never played hockey. I played street hockey. Not yet. Balance is an important thing. Your base is important in all sports. Everything starts from the ground up.
Center of gravity.
Center of gravity. Like, if you are a person who, and I think eyes, you have to play the game with your eyes, right? You have to know where the puck is. That's the most important thing on the ice. Why in the hell is Stuart Skinner always toppling over, falling over, spread eagle, not knowing where the puck is? What is his deal?
Probably because people are running into him, Carey.
Well, they didn't run that first goal. Nobody touched that. They weren't in front. They run into
Stuart Skinner, I'll tell you this about him. He doesn't have great footwork.
Clearly.
He doesn't have great footwork. And what happens,
movement.
What happens when you don't have great footwork is you overcompensate with extra body movements. And so right now, because he can't get from A to B in a smooth fashion, taking away time and space, he's got to use body parts to get big and almost force a save. Now, when it works or when he's on his game, it looks like he's unbeatable. He looks like a version of Dominic Hasek back in the day where you throwing everything but the kitchen sink at you to make the save. But when it doesn't work, you end up with Stuart Skinner 3 feet outside the blue paint, turned sideways, looking in the wrong direction, while Brad Marchand puts it in an empty net. I don't know what the Oilers are going to do because there's a massive dilemma right now for Chris Knobloch and the team. Stuart Skinner has been unbeatable or unhittable, meaning you can't hit him with the puck because you're going to score all the time, or you can't get it past him. So last night you had the version. He wasn't completely crap, but you had the version that was lesser than. And then Pickard went in, and he wasn't fantastic either. He was fine, but the game was already out of reach. It's so do you go back to Pickard next game, or do you go back to Skinner, knowing that Skinner might have one of those games where you can't get a grease BB past him?
I think the worst thing the Panthers did last night was score 5 goals against Stuart Skinner. because Pickard's going to come in, and he's been lights out this postseason.
He wasn't too.
He's going to.
He
He didn't start the game. He came in cold. Came in cold.
He also came in with no pressure.
He's going to come in. Oilers are going to take the next game. Then we'll see what happens. Then we go back to Edmonton. Series tied at 2. Pickard in next game. And then if you have to go back to Stuart Skinner, he has good numbers after getting pulled. Just saying, Carey, I'm trying to make you feel a little bit better here.
That made me feel a little bit better. I would have felt better if Stuart Skinner would have stayed down in game 2.
Well, he's not perfect, right?
Oh,
no, I'm saying,
my goodness.
If he would have stayed down and got really looked after to make sure he was completely healthy.
Oh, man.
I mean, sometimes when you get ran into, body part, knees, ankles get twisted up in there. You don't want to get ran over. He was limping and That might have something to do with the lateral movement, why he can't go from side to side quick enough. As quick as the puck is moving, clearly.
Maybe he dropped his phone on the ice after sending a stupid text message.
Oh, wow. Oh, man.
Marshy, do you support the blonde beard movement?
I think Carey would look great with a black beard.
There you go.
You look better with the blonde one.
Holy smokes.
I'm not going to throw my teammate under the bus like I just did 5 seconds ago.
Carey, play the beginning for Carey really quick.
Yeah, Carey,
Because you missed
this.
it, Carey.
I did hear it. What did I miss?
Silence. It's gold.
What if I told you that a jet black beard was on the line? That a series could change with one simple text message? That a team of rats could take down the best player in the world? What if I told you that 2 teams are supposed to show up instead of 1? That the hockey god could outshine the hockey guy? 101 ESPN's The Fast Lane Ryan Day Challenge, the 2025 Stanley Cup Final.
Oh, that was awesome.
Nice job, Marsh. Nice job.
One of the best things ever.
All right, game 4 will be, tomorrow night? We'll have the coverage for you right here on 101 ESPN. This Thursday, excuse me. This does feel like the LA series. Now that they came back and won, Edmonton won, but this does feel like with the way that the Oilers have been kind of flat and disjointed and undisciplined. Marsh mentioned the mental lapses, the penalties, the third period meltdowns, and misconduct, all that stuff. It feels like the first 2 games against LA. But again, the Oilers did come back in that one and win that series and eventually, go on to beat Vegas and then in the West Conference Finals, and now they're Stanley Cup. But it don't look good right now for Edmonton. We'll see if they can even the series.
Last night.
Yes, it did.
Different.
Yeah. All right, speaking of our guy, Marshy, he's got what's trending next on 101 ESPN.
Jamie Rivers here. When it comes time to sell your home, you're going to need a reliable, experienced, and trusted agent. Take it from me. Get to know St. Louis's real estate expert. That is Gloria Liu with Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Look, Gloria has solutions for every type of home seller. For sellers who want a fast sale at no hassles, Gloria's multiple cash offer program is a great option to consider. No showings, no costly repairs, and you pick the closing date. You'll always get the highest cash offer to choose from in minutes. And that's exactly what you want, right? You want to sell your home quickly and you want to sell it for the most money available. That's why Gloria Liu is so important. She understands exactly where the market is right now and the exact price your home needs to be listed at to sell quickly and make you the most money, and also make sure that you get to the closing table. Gloria's got thousands of buyers in a database. That's going to help the process along, too. It's going to speed it up for you, maybe even get you multiple offers, which means more money in your pocket at the end of the transaction. So please pick up the phone, call Gloria today. Tell her Jamie Rivers sent you in. Her number's 314-325-6888. That's 314-325-6888. Or you can always visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com.
You've come to the right place. What are the hot topics in the sports world?
What in the wide world of sports is going on here?
It's time to find out with
What's Trending, brought to you by Elite Comfort Experts. Heating and cooling with no gimmicks, just guarantees. EliteComfortExperts.com.
Welcome back to the Fast Lane here on 101 ESPN with Anthony Stalter, Jamie Rivers, and Carey Davis. I'm Andrew Marsh, and it's time for What's Trending. Gentlemen, Lane Hudson wins the Calder Trophy. He is the best rookie this year in the NHL. But I'm not here to talk about Lane Hudson of the Montreal Canadiens. I'm here to talk about Zach Bolduc of your St. Louis Blues, who finished 8th in the Calder Trophy voting. How about that for the young Zach Bolduc?
Quite the accomplishment. Zach started the season where he made the team, didn't really know where he was going to fit in. Under Drew Bannister, he didn't play a whole lot. And it's not Drew's fault, but he didn't trust Zach Bolduc a lot. And the situations he put him in were super protective of the player. And for Bolduc, he wasn't really allowed to play his game until Jim Montgomery came on board. And even then, he wasn't anointed just power play time and things like that. He had to earn every bit of ice that he got. So congratulations to Zach. Ends up with 19 goals on the season, became a bit of a fixture on that power play. And it's a compliment to Monty for giving him the opportunity and to Zach Bolduc for taking advantage of it. And now, he's he's amongst a pretty elite group of players in that voting.
Do you guys think that Jimmy Snuggerud will be in the top 3? Where do you think he finishes next year in the Calder Trophy voting?
Well, we'll see. It's
in play.
It's in play. You know, the way he moved the puck so quickly and tape to tape, and the way he was thinking the game almost one step ahead was unbelievable to me for a young player to come in like that and do that. So now a full summer of training, working out, then a full summer of skating with guys from the team, and then a full training camp, preseason, all that. I'd say, for me, my expectations would be that Jimmy Snugger would be one of the top 5 rookies in the league next year, and with the potential of even being higher than that.
What about Zach Bolduc, though? Going back to him, he's the reason why we're talking about this. What are realistic expectations for him and some of the other younger players now that they got a little bit of playoff experience? They know what to expect out of Jim Montgomery for a full season. What is this team looking like from a youth standpoint?
Well, the team itself from a youth standpoint looks excellent. I mean, Jordan Kyrou and Robert Thomas are still young-ish. Dylan Holloway's young. Jake Neighbors, young. Zach Bolduc, young. Jimmy Snuggerud, young. Like, you've got a lot of guys here that are young, up-and-coming players. Dalibor Dvorsky, to be determined where he ends up next year. But when you just look overall at the squad for the season, and you find Zach Bolduc, 19 goals, 17 assists, 36 points in 72 games. I would say that he's easily a 50-point guy next year. How you mix and match that, it's up to you. I think he's 20 goals, 30 assists.
All right, guys, the NFL mandatory mini camps are officially underway. And, guys, there's some notable players that are not attending for various reasons. Do you think that this is something, or is it nothing?
As of right now, I don't think it's anything. It's just kind of standard operating business in the NFL. If you want a new contract, this is how you do it. It's not ideal for either side. It's not ideal for the team. It's not ideal for the player. But this is how deals typically are done in the NFL. If you are a player that is as good as T.J. Watt or Terry McLaurin or Trey Hendrickson, or who's the other one that I think is missing some time? Are there 4?
Jalen Ramsey, but they're
been talking about trading him
for him.
Yeah.
You got James Cook was reportedly sitting out, but he's back at practice. And I think Sauce Gardner and Garrett Wilson are kind of in limbo as well. They might be at minicamp, but they're looking for new deals as well, I believe.
Okay. So
and your guy Kirky football.
Yeah.
He's mad.
Well,
Steelers didn't want him.
Sorry about it.
Yeah, me too.
But I don't think really this is anything until it threatens to bleed into the season. And it might, but we just saw this with the 49ers a year ago. The last 2 years, they've had some players that were holding out, and they wound up being kind of big issues as we got closer to week 1, and then they were able to make the deals done. If I'm any of these teams, I figure it out now, though.
For me, the one that probably stands out the most, I'm okay with T.J. Watt. I'm sure he's going to get his money. He's earned it. Trey Hendrickson, I don't think he's budging. I don't think he's playing for the Cincinnati Bengals without a new deal. And you're talking about a team that already lacks defensive help on that side of the ball. He led the league in sacks, and they stink on defense despite him leading the league in sacks. They need a player of his caliber to be on the field, not now, but once the season starts. But I don't think Trey Hendrickson is budging. Like, I think he's kind of been upset with how the negotiations have gone. He's seen his teammates get paid. Joe Burrow obviously got paid a few years ago. He saw T and Jamar get paid this offseason, like those guys. So you're basically putting offense as the priority and saying to hell with the defense, but you stunk on defense. And so he's saying, hey, I led the league in sacks. I need my money, and if you're not going to pay me, I'm not playing. So I think that would be the one that I would be most interested to watch, especially how the Cincinnati Bengals were on defense last year.
All right, it's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Andrew Marsh, Carey Davis, Jamie Rivers, and Anthony Stalter. We're going to dive back into Ryan Helsley's kind of immediate future after his third blown save in the last 5 days last night. Again, we'll get into Ryan Helsley, his immediate future, what the Cardinals could or should do. That's next on 101 ESPN. Jamie, one of the things about Stewie that I find to be just so impressive is that it doesn't really matter what your situation is when it comes to either finding that next new home loan or just trying to have a better understanding of when to refi. Stewie's your guy, and it doesn't matter what situation you're in. And maybe you're a little desperate. You're feeling kind of overwhelmed by maybe some debt issues. Whatever your situation is, whether you want to save money or consolidate some debt and get into a better spot, Stewie's your guy.
Either way, those situations make you feel pretty vulnerable. And the worst thing you can do is partner up with somebody who makes it more stressful for you. Someone who you feel like you're disappointing or you don't have the right answers or you're trying to figure it out with them. No. Stewie is the best, man. I'm telling you, I went through the process with him, and he holds your hand the entire way. Anything that was a problem, he's like, no, not a big deal. We'll find a solution. And he did. He found a solution for every obstacle that presented itself. And that's what I want for our listeners. So right now, if you're out there listening to us talk about debt consolidation, refinancing, or purchasing a home, pick up the phone, call our guy Stewie. His number is 314-324-4440.
Again, that number is 314-324-4440.
He's right now on the phone talking to a 101 ESPN listener, working out a deal right now. He wants to help out everybody, so please give him a call again. If you can't remember that number, Anthony, what can they do?
You can always Google the Bagel Loan.
NMLS number 226715.
Ryan Helsley last night blew his third save in his last 5 days. The Cardinals fall to the Blue Jays 5-4. It's the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN 302. Your time check is brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler. Ryan Helsley, of course, being so dominant a year ago, all-star performance, but opposing hitters, and Jamie, you had read off some of these stats in the opening segment. Opposing hitters are now batting .400 against his fastball this year. He's also walking more batters than he did a year ago, and the contact rates are up overall. He's just not missing any bats. So the question is, has Ryan Helsley's trade value diminished? I mean, we still got ways to go here.
Yeah.
But there's also enough runway for him to continue to pitch poorly, and then what?
So I don't believe it's diminished because a contender is always willing to cross their fingers at some point. So if, like, you get to the trade deadline and, you know, team X, Y, or Z are right there. And I don't mean, like, just a bubble team. Like, they're a first-place team. They're looking for a closer. I don't think... they overlook things sometimes because they think, we'll get him here, fresh start, blah, blah, blah. In every sport, it happens. And the closer position, obviously a very valuable one. I think teams are willing to take the chance at that point. You know, I don't think it diminishes it yet. Now, if this continues, if this trend of blowing saves continues, well, obviously, yes, at some point it's going to affect his trade value.
Yeah.
But if the trade deadline was tomorrow, I don't think it's an issue. Now, if it continues like this, you know, right up until the trade deadline where you're riding a roller coaster when he's out there, that will at that point affect it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think if he's performing better by the time we get to that point, he's fine. But one of the things that we talked about coming into this season, which is why there were a lot of speculation as to why he should be traded in either last year at the trade deadline or prior to the season beginning, there are too many unknown elements. Is he going to perform at the level that he did last year? Chances are he probably wouldn't, and right now he isn't. And the other one would be injury, the risk of injury. What you would get if he's injured, you get nothing. So that's why there was so much talk about, man, we might need to move him in the offseason or at last year's trade deadline because you don't know what you're going to get. Mm-hmm. And right now you're in that situation. You're kind of in limbo. You're hoping that he performs well enough. Well, if he performs well enough, then your team is going to be better. And then maybe you say, I don't trade him at all.
Right.
But right now I think it's kind of you're in limbo based on how well he's performing or if he's not performing well at all.
Here is Brandon Kiley, BK, and BK and Ferrario earlier today on the Ryan Helsley trade talk situation.
I don't think they blew it with Helsley, and I think that this idea that they're going to lose him for a pick and he could get you this big return, you lose him for the pick because you're trying for the playoffs, guys. All of this is supposed to be about winning. All of this is supposed to be about trying to contend, and this notion that it's become all about like player assets and either trading this guy or not getting enough. Dude, sometimes you just have a player under contract and they walk, and the reason that you allow for them to walk is because you extracted your value with what they gave you on the baseball field. That was the value. So yes, you have to come to terms with the fact that Ryan Helsley for 3 months plus the 2nd/3rd round draft pick for Helsley is worth more to you as a team and organization than whatever you would get for him at the trade deadline. That's the calculus there. You can side on the other side of things, but if you're not taking into account what he brings for you on the field, I think you're doing it completely wrong. And I think you are underselling the fact that baseball is still supposed to be about the wins and losses. And it doesn't just have to be about the player transactions.
So I'm going to disagree because I think what happened is the Cardinals are good. And so now all of a sudden there's this urge or this need, we got to make the playoffs now. We can't pass. And I've been steadfast on that. Like, I think your job as a GM, president of baseball operations, front office, ownership, is to prepare your team to be good for numbers of years, not for a one-off year and say, okay, well, we didn't expect to be good, but damn it, we're good. And there's a difference if you're Michael Jordan and he's on his last year of the contract and you're like, you know what, we going to try to win a championship. We're going to do whatever we got to do in the 97-98 season because we ain't bringing Mike back. There's a difference between that philosophy versus we're going to play young players and we're going to see where the hell it goes. Oh, crap, we're really good, and now we got to try to win a championship. That wasn't the mindset coming in. You have a group of young players, which means you're supposed to be trying to open up the window to win, and you have to find a way to do both. You can't just say, all right, well, we're not trading anybody. We're not going to move off of anybody because we got a chance to be a wild card team this year. I don't think that philosophy makes much sense. When your goal as a front office person is to make sure your team is good this year, but also for years to come. And anything you can do to prepare your team to be good for years to come, you should do that.
Doesn't that include being in the playoffs, though? We had made a huge deal about the Blues being in the playoffs so that this team could grow and understand this is what it's like to play playoff hockey. Why can't the same be said for the Cardinals? If Ryan Helsley makes your team better and you can make it to the playoffs, I find that more beneficial than some player going to get that might make an impact 4 years from now.
The only difference is that, and it's a big difference, is that the Blues are in a cap sport. They play in a cap sport. So the Cardinals could still make the playoffs without Ryan Helsley and set themselves up for the future. And you're talking about baseball where if you do get a couple of prospects, you're talking about acquiring players that are cost controlled that could be in your system for 6, 7, 8 years, as opposed to dumping salary for, guys that, I mean, look at the value that the Blues got back for the expiring contracts in 2024, 23? 23 with Vladdy and I mean the return on those deals weren't great. I think you're probably the most sought after commodity at the MLB trade deadline are relievers. The Dodgers, the Yankees, the whoever, maybe even the Tigers will look at bullpen help first. And I think Ryan Helsley, unless he continues to trend in the wrong direction, will be a highly sought-after commodity.
Yeah, and I agree with what you said. to both of you, Marshy, you and Anthony, I do believe there's value in making the playoffs. And it's not the old Cardinal thing that we were talking about a couple of years ago. Oh, we just limp in, everything's okay. No, this is different because you've missed the playoffs, 3 years in a row now?
2
years in a row. This being year 3 of this rebuild or transformation or whatever the hell you want to call it, doesn't matter. I think this young group of players who have gotten you to this point, I think it's important for that group of players to make the playoffs. And it's not speaking out of both sides of my mouth, because if it was the Matt Carpenters, Brandon Crawfords, the Lance Lynn, Kyle Gibson team that limps into the playoffs, that's way different than a bunch of younger players who have exceeded expectations, and now they get rewarded by getting back into the playoffs, and Cardinal Nation should be happy about that. I don't think, at the same time, I don't think hanging on to Ryan Helsley is the main thing that's going to get them over the hump to make the playoffs. I think you can find another guy to close out games and still, at the same time, continue to, not rebuild, continue to build this team for the future by doing so.
Who are you going to throw in that position, though? They can't. They can barely find bullpen help as it is right now.
Phil Maton, Graceffo,
Steven Matz.
But you're changing their role now.
Luke Weaver was closing games for the Yankees last year. I think that we get hung up.
He came in after, who was it that was stinking it up? Because they had a closer.
Last season?
Yeah.
I can't remember who was last season, but now with Devin Williams. Devin Williams this season having issues. Luke Weaver started over. Marsha, I get it. I think we overvalue closers, though. And maybe that's just an absolutely ridiculous statement, because closers obviously close down games for you. But including closers, Clay Holmes, every reliever in a pen is volatile. Every single one of them. And that's year to year. In 2022, let me see if I've got my ducks in an order here. Ducks in a row. In 2023, Helsley was injured. In 2022, he was excellent. 23, he was injured. Last season, he was an all-star. And now we're starting to see he's battling for consistency. I think you got to sell while the value is still high. If not, if you hold on to him,
it's fair.
You could make a playoff run, and there is value in that. I'm not disagreeing. But I think we've got to move past the thought of, you can't make the playoffs if Ryan Helsley's not your closer. And you've brought this up before, and I completely agree with you. The Detroit Tigers a year ago sold and still wound up not only making a playoff, but winning a series in Houston.
They sold different pieces, though.
Sure, but they still sold, right?
It's fair.
I don't think it's this or that. I don't think it's trade Helsley, not make the playoffs. You could wind up accomplishing both.
Yeah, you could. Absolutely. I'm just looking at it. If it was a this or that, I am picking playoff experience over a prospect or two that will make an impact. Who knows if they even do years down the road.
Sure, that's fair.
Because this whole season is about developing, and that's what BK and Ferrari were also talking about. Being a playoff team is part of that development. That is huge for these young players to see, hey, this is what Busch Stadium looks like packed. Because if they do make the playoffs, I guarantee you that more people are going to show up. I find more value in that than a couple other players down in your system where you already have a logjam. I would assume you'd get pitching back, which would be nice. But I find playoff experience better for the players, and honestly, it's better for the fan base.
Well, we'll see what the market holds.
For sure.
This is why it's important. It's vital that the Cardinals have a value set on Ryan Helsley. This is what we're willing to accept in a deal, and here's what the value is of him being here and making a playoff run like you're talking about. And if the offers that are being made are much lower than the value of making the playoffs, then you keep them. If not,
I agree. I agree with that.
You sell them.
I agree. If they give you a deal where you're like, oh my goodness, we gotta take this one. Well, then take it. The thing with
what if you miss the playoffs though?
What if you miss it?
Yeah.
Well, then you get a qualifying offer, or you re-sign.
No. I'm saying you said you get an offer for Helsley and you can't pass it up, but now your team is not making the playoffs.
Well, that sucks.
Yeah.
But it has to be.
But at least you set the mark. At least the market was set for you, and you said, "Look, this is what I'm going to do."
Like it's an offer that blows you away. I don't know if fans would be necessarily mad with that.
I don't think you should trade Ryan Helsley for a pack of baseballs. Like I think you should get something that is going to help you in the future.
And that's why you target teams that need him the most.
And if you don't make the playoffs this year, I don't think it's the end of the world. And that's the whole point that I'm
Bite your tongue.
Yeah, I don't. I'm sorry. I think it'd be awesome, but I don't think it's the end of the world if you're able to continue to make this team better in the process. The whole purpose is to continue to find a way to make the team better, in my opinion, and try to make the playoffs. But if Ryan Helsley fetches you something because somehow, some way he starts pitching and performing better, you cannot not make that deal just because, oh goodness, we got to give these young players experience on what the playoffs look like. Hell, get the experience next year when we got a much better team and you've already had a full year of experience under your belt of how to play baseball.
I also think it depends on where they're at in the standings. You know, if they're a few games out, I'm a little bit more open to potentially, moving on from him. But if they're in first place, I'm not getting rid of him. I'm not.
That plays into what you're
100%.
saying about making the playoffs and having that be more valuable than any sort of prospect. So, Marsh, you're making absolutely fair points on that.
I'm just glad that none of us have to make that decision.
No,
we just get to talk about it and argue about it.
Yeah, you'd trade him.
I wouldn't give a damn either.
Look at you. You'd go right to the press conference, too.
Hey, what do you want to do?
Look at all of Cardinal Nation.
What do you want? What do you want from me?
Kiss your baseballs.
You'll be all right. You know what you'll do? You'll wake up tomorrow and you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Take a deep breath.
Old Haim Davis over here.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Davis.
Do it.
Old Carey Armstrong Davis over there. All right, it's Fast Line on 101 ESPN. Aircraft and Service sex line is 314-399-9646. So if you have a question for us, send it there. Our Sports Six Pack is next.
time for the Fast Lane to answer your sports questions.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions. I want to have them answered immediately.
Asking me all these weird questions.
Answer the question.
Answer the question.
Answer me! The Sports Six-Pack is refreshed by the Finnish Long Drink, Finland's best-kept secret. A sparkling citrus beverage made with real liquor. Visit thelongdrink.com. Must be 21 years of age or older. Drink responsibly.
All right, let's get into our Sports Six-Pack here in the Fast Lane on 101 at ESPN. Carey Davis, Jamie Rivers, I'm Anthony Stalter. Question 1, please, Marsh.
Question number 1.
All right, Uncle Rico wants to know, have we seen the last St. Louis Battlehawks game in St. Louis?
Ooh, I hope not. I hope not. I feel like this was an opportunity. Me being a player that went undrafted, that was bouncing around from team to team to start my career, this is an opportunity for guys to get film and hopefully be reevaluated by the NFL clubs. You got to perform well. That's on you, whether you got the skill set or not. If you get the opportunity, it's there for you to be able to move on. And besides that, I maybe that's the main reason why. Maybe it just pulls at my heartstrings. I want these young men to have an opportunity to keep playing football, even if they're not playing on Sundays in the fall. So I hope not.
Yeah, I'm with Carey. I hope not, too. I'm a little concerned based on the fact that the league really hasn't made any money any year of its existence. There's only one franchise that's truly viable, and that's the Battlehawks. Mm-hmm. That's pretty tough when you're hanging the balance of the league on one team's attendance, and then you're giving that fan base as many games as you can, and justifiably so, because it's the best fan base in the league. But it's not a sustainable model. But you know what? Maybe they'll come up with some ideas. There was talk of maybe adding a couple of teams. Maybe there's some money that comes in from an expansion. I'd like to remain optimistic.
Yeah. I don't think we saw the last Battlehawk game. I think there's going to be at least one more season, but as you guys noted, it's on shaky ground. A lot of people keep saying, I heard BK say this actually earlier today driving in. He said, well, it's a spring football league. The reaction's been kind of what you get out of like watching an Arizona fall league. It kind of is what it is. I completely agree. We've also had some people in the snake pit that's like, you're getting the amount of attention that a spring football league should get. Completely agree. But Jamie hit on it. If you're not making money, if you're not profitable, that's a whole nother conversation. So while the attention that they're getting might be appropriate, if they don't find a way to be profitable next season, the UFL won't be around. Bottom line. I think they got one more year until they call it a day. And I hope not. I hope I'm wrong, but it don't look good.
I'll tell you right now, if Uncle Rico was behind center, Battlehawks might be playing next week.
Well, might want to sign him.
That guy's got an arm.
So he says. True.
Question number 2.
Part-time Nebraska fan wants to know, was last night's loss the Cardinals' worst loss of the season? If not, what game do you think was? And likewise, what game do you think is the Cardinals' biggest win of the season so far?
As frustrating as last night's game was, it was still fascinating to watch them come back again, and you had an opportunity to win that thing. The worst loss of the season, to me, was 18-7 at Fenway Park.
18 runs for me, man.
In which the Red Sox just used the Cardinals pitching staff as their batting practice that day.
Why was that bad for you?
It's a long day.
That was rough.
That was a rough one.
That was. I think we were at Centene for that game too.
Oh yeah,
were we?
I think we were.
The 9-1 loss to the Reds hurt too. That was not great.
No, that was bad.
That's a division game.
That's a division game, certainly.
That 18 runs. That was rough for me.
I think the best win thus far this season, 2-1 Saturday winner against the Dodgers. It sucked that Helsley blew it, but then you came back and Arenado had the game-winning hit, and it was against the Dodgers, and it meant you won that series. 2-1 win.
They had I don't know. They've had some really good wins.
Had a good season.
They have had a good season. What about, did Fetty win a complete game against who?
Washington.
There you go. Okay. Marshy. Nice job.
That was a 10-0 win. Not that one. But either way, they've had some really good wins this year. Proud of them. Proud of my Cards.
Oh, now they're your Cards.
Yeah. I told you yesterday.
I feel nauseous hearing you say that.
What's wrong with you guys? You guys.
Question number 3.
Average size Shabangas wants to know, other than not having to wake up early in the morning, what do you like about your guys' 2 o'clock start time in terms of you and also when sports news trickles out during the day? Would you rather a different time slot if you could choose?
I've done both.
Yeah.
I've done both. I think you didn't. Have you done mornings? You did mornings?
I have filled in.
I've filled in. But
yeah.
Let me tell you something.
No, I haven't done consistent mornings.
Tell you something. 5 a.m. gets here quickly, especially when the Blues or the Cardinals are playing on the West Coast, Jamie. You know?
Oh, yeah, I know.
It happens fast. So I know you said time. Yeah, that's getting a little more sleep. That helps. The one thing I will say about working from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m., 10:30, you're done, baby.
Yeah.
Got the rest of the damn day. Do as you please.
Yeah.
It's a little different.
That's the hard part about 2 to 6.
It's in the dead smack in the middle.
Well, and when I'm not in Blues season, my daughter soccer practices and like anything that happens is like right after school for her, like the high school games, all that stuff. So you're conceding that completely. Like I never see a game unless I ask for a favor. And Tommy, who's been great in the past, to let me go catch a game because, I don't get the chance to see it. You're in the same boat. BT was in the same boat with his kids, played baseball practice, and you with Madeline and Killian. Like, it's a great time slot because you get to sleep in, but it's a tough one, too, because, as we know, everybody does things between 2 to 6.
Yeah.
No matter what it is, it seems to be that time slot.
I echo what Jamie just said. It like now having kids in sports, and Lincoln's not even playing sports yet, and he's going to be playing sports in a couple of years. He's 3 right now. Having practices that are like 4:30, 5:30, I miss that. And Killian's got a game tonight at 6, so I'll get there. Halfway through. He actually hit an inside the park home run last week, and I just missed it. So, it's one of those deals. And fortunately, my buddy Mark captured it on video, so it was awesome. But, it's different from being there. And, that I hate that aspect of it. The other thing about working mornings is that it's the first bite of the apple.
Yes.
I mean, you got last night's game. By the time we get on air, too, you've already heard opinions from throughout the day on the same topics. It's not like we're not going to talk about Ryan Helsley last night. So it is a little different. It forces us, which is good, to be more creative and have different takes that you haven't heard. But that is the other challenge.
Yeah, there's pros and cons because you get first bite of the apple, but then as the morning show, as information happens throughout the day, trades, waiver wire, things like that, more stuff gets, all of that you have to wait now. You have to wait a full 24 hours before you can talk about it.
NHL trade deadline, MLB trade deadline, they all end during our show. So that's fun. We've been on air when...
Oh, I know.
I remember when the Cardinals traded for Jose Quintana at the last second.
And Montgomery was the same one,
it was Montgomery. Actually, it was Montgomery. That's right. Yeah.
It
was Harrison Bader for Montgomery, and it
this
broke.
Guy's good.
Yeah, and it was our first reaction, right? And everybody's like, who the hell is Jordan Montgomery? I'm like, you guys are going to like him, whatever. So having that instant reaction is a lot of fun. Yeah. And you just don't get that in the morning. So like Jamie said, there's pros and cons.
Question number 4.
From Grant Francis fan club, Dawson Mercer has come up in recent trade rumors. Should the Blues be in on him as a potential second-line center?
Who's that?
Dawson Mercer.
Dawson Mercer? I don't know if he's a second-line center. He's okay. I'd rather go in a different direction, quite honestly. I mean, I just don't know that much about him except for that he's a centerman, and he was just interviewed recently and had a funny interview on TV. That was kind of cool. But, I think for the Blues, Dawson Mercer, 36 points last year in 82 games. I don't know if that makes you a second-line center. 56 points a couple of years before. But right now, Braden Shen, if we go back to Braden Shen had 50 points last year. And that was playing a whole bunch at the end there, a bunch of games without Dylan Holloway, too. And also starting the season with a bit of a potpourri of line mates and things that were going on there. I'd look somewhere else.
Question number 5.
From the 314, good afternoon, gentlemen. It is Lou.
Good afternoon.
What's up, Lou?
What's up, Lou?
My question for you is if Major League Baseball took all the players on current rosters and put them in a giant pool and everyone had to redraft their team, who are you drafting with your first-round pick? All players are same age as they are now. Ignore contracts. Thanks. Enjoy your day.
You guys want to say it on 3? 1, 2, 3. Aaron Judge.
Oh, wow.
Who'd you say?
Aaron Judge.
Who'd you say?
I said Shohei Ohtani.
Okay.
Okay.
No, I mean, sure.
I mean, Judge is good. I mean, Judge is a
He's
good
about to
one,
win the
too.
Triple
I don't know if there's a wrong answer.
Yeah, Judge is...
Ryan Helsley, baby.
You can't have him, all right? Can't have him. He's too good.
Give me the Valade man.
You guys stop hating on Valade. He's working hard.
I'm sure he is.
Yeah,
I'm sure he is.
You beat me to it. Yeah.
I'm not going to talk on the guy.
He's giving it all he's got, man. He's working hard.
Getting in the cages, doing the work, all that stuff.
Yeah. He's not resting on his laurels.
What?
Anthony.
What?
Anthony.
What?
Yeah. You know,
Resting on one laurel.
Jamie.
What?
See, Jamie. See, what I said wasn't bad. Jamie had to take it to the next step.
Carey, I'm trying to figure out why he said what he said.
And I'm trying to figure out, you knew why he said it. Why did you go a step further?
I thought maybe he knew something I didn't.
Jamie.
What?
I thought he knew something about Ryan Valade that I didn't know.
He didn't know anything about Ryan Valade.
Hit for the cycle a month ago or something.
A couple days ago.
Good point. Who the hell is this guy?
Maybe he did a
We
good
called him
time.
Valade.
I did call him Vlade.
Yeah.
Honestly, if his name was Vlade, I think he'd be better.
I don't know. I don't know.
You guys.
It's not his fault, guys. He's
No,
been put
it's
in a
not.
position to fail.
That's right. It really, he is.
It is a crap sandwich. This is not his fault.
He would be.
You shouldn't even be. You know what? I had a coach.
That's right.
I don't blame you. I blame the person that brought you here. I've heard coaches say that. This is not your fault. You're not even supposed to be here.
No, exactly.
That's
Maybe that's why Ollie
harsh.
keeps playing him.
It's a harsh comment.
What?
It's a harsh comment. It's hard to hear, man.
Ollie keeps rolling him out there. When in doubt, hey, Valade, go.
Well, who else does he
Hey,
have?
Mo, this guy. Mo, this guy. Okay, here you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
This is what you
Nobody else
wanted.
there.
So you gave me.
Here you go, Mo.
He didn't have a right-handed bat off the bench. He couldn't use Pozo. What if somebody got
Then
hurt?
go to a left-handed bat.
He didn't have one of those either. It's just Barrero
Then
and
Ollie,
Pozo
pick up
left.
a bat.
Who else is left on the bench?
I don't know. There's got to be
That's
somebody.
it.
Put a
It's those
pitcher in.
three. It's Pozo, Barrero,
Michaelis.
and
He's the last.
Valade.
He's the last Cardinals pitcher to hit a home run. Miles, Mike, pick up a bat. Miles, you're hitting.
At this point, I wouldn't mind if Ollie just took a couple of Home Depot buckets up there and jammed a couple of bats in there and kind of
Just set it there.
see
right
if,
at
see if the
plate.
pitcher
Hit the bat.
hits the bat. Yeah.
You guys.
Whatever.
You're a tough crowd.
I don't like your attitude.
You guys are hard to please.
Sorry if honesty is a problem.
Yeah. Agreed. Okay.
All right.
It's Fastline on 101 ESPN. Is it time to, well, Jamie wants to move, let me rephrase. Jamie wants to move Nootbaar out of the lineup spot. I'll tell you why next on 101 ESPN.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. Ryan Helsley's blown save last night leads to a Cardinals loss as the Blue Jays defeat the Cards 5-4. Tonight, the Cardinals look to get back in the win column as Miles Michaelis will take the mound for the Redbirds. Chris Bassett for the Blue Jays. First pitch is at 6:45. Last night, the Florida Panthers took care of business in Game 3, defeating the Edmonton Oilers by a final score of 6-1. The Panthers lead the Stanley Cup final 2-1. And then we will have Game 2. Oh, this is all messed up here. We're just going to move on. We're going to move on, Anthony. Let's move on to this next segment, which involves Lars Nootbaar not being in the leadoff spot. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, a Daikin heating and air conditioning dealer.
I've been there before, buddy. And it's the worst when, like, you're trying to set something up and you look at the board. It's a little jumbled. A little bit.
Well, the days that have gone by have not been eliminated on the board.
Yeah, so which is fine.
Yeah.
But while you're on air and you're trying to read something live and you say something, and in your head, you're like, that's not right.
I've been there where I'm doing a live read for my friends over at Dirt Cheap. Couldn't find the website, so I said, you know what? I'll find it and tell you later.
That is the worst.
You did tell them later, though.
I did.
You did.
Came back next segment. Oh, yeah, I found it. Yeah. So,
Marsh, Marsh does a nice job of always telling us, hey, you got this read coming up, this read coming up. And you're like, I'll get it. We all have folders.
We do.
So the best part is, like, you start the read, and you know you need a number or website or whatever, and you're
the phone
just
number. You don't want to screw it up.
Constantly talking. It's like, and then I was there, and somebody else was there. You know what? Call Green Envy.
I'm sure you can find them on the internet.
Sometimes you just got to move on, right, Anthony?
That's right.
Like the Cardinals have with Lars Nootbaar at the leadoff spot.
That's a transition, and that's why he's one of the best in the business. Jamie.
Yeah.
You were ahead of the curve. Ollie may have benched him for today. It's probably just a day off, but Jamie, you were ahead of the curve here. You said that Lars Nootbaar, maybe it's time to move him out of the leadoff spot.
Well, Marshy had the number earlier there. He's only batting like 161 this month. Like, it's just not good. And when you're a leadoff hitter, like, the whole purpose is to get on base.
What?
I know.
That's why you have the shortstop leading off.
That's why you have shortstop leading off.
They got it right.
There you go.
This is why, though, I would have had Brendan Donovan leading off. He's got 381 OBP. He's the best on the team.
Plus, he sees a ton of pitches, and he gets in the dome of the starting pitcher.
And then have Herrera following that. Mm-hmm. So the pitcher now coming out of a grudge match with Brendan Donovan, and he's going to make a mistake and be emotional and throw one where he shouldn't, and Herrera's going to crush it. He's going to just tattoo that thing. Mm-hmm. I don't dislike Mason Wynn in there, but for me, put your best OBP to lead you off. But it's a righty on the bump. Brendan Donovan's a lefty. Like, all things for today lead to that scenario. Now, he didn't do that, which is fine. Let's get back to Newt. Newt was a good, solid leadoff hitter for an extended period of time. It has not been great lately. You know, what's going on there? I don't know. To me, Newt looks like he's trying to hit for too much power again. I feel like he's trying to swing out of his shoes instead of making contact. He was making contact early in the season, getting on base. He was swiping bags. Like, he was doing the leadoff thing. Mm-hmm. And it's not like he's had an abundance of success, but he is one of the top home run guys on the team right now for the Cardinals, which doesn't say much because the 8 home runs is what Newt's got. But it looks to me, and it's just my blind eye, is that he's trying to swing too hard. He's trying to clear the bases, even though he's a leadoff guy.
Let's add the disclaimer here, maybe disarm anybody that likes to sit there and wait for us to start talking about something like this and then pounce. Carey,
what happened?
Jamie, me. We are not hitting coaches. We've never done this at the big league level.
Do you know how many? There's one year.
I've done hitting coaching.
Yeah,
I've taught how to hit.
I helped coach a girls' softball team. I might tell you, our offense was pretty potent.
Yeah.
Okay?
10-year-old baseball here for me.
Yeah.
And like 12-year-old girls' softball many, many years ago. I also played baseball, Anthony.
I played baseball, too.
I'm technically a pro hitting coach.
I had a solid OBP.
Yeah.
Apologies. These two guys are qualified to talk about hitting. As everybody knows, I was moved to short to second in college, so
You can talk about fielding.
I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. But no. Anyways, it looks to me that he's expanded his zone. He's up there guessing, and now he's just trying to hit whatever's thrown. There's not a game plan. He's off. Heads flying out, shoulders flying out.
Well, then that would lead to me thinking he's trying to hit for power when it's just an ugly swing.
Sure. He's slumping.
Yeah.
So the question is, when a player is slumping, because he's had a nice season thus far. You know, he's still at a 107 WRC plus earmuffs. Carey.
What's his
I don't
WAR?
even know what that word means. That acronym. The hell is that? What's his batting average? 161? That's why he's not playing today. That's all you need to know.
Or if you got to go on batting average, most of these guys won't hit. Lars is hitting 237.
Yeah.
Not great.
This month.
No, that's overall.
No, overall.
170. Okay.
It's 167.
237 overall. Anyways, he's done fine, but he's clearly in a slump. So when do you replace him? Do you just move him down and say, hey, look, if you start hitting again, we'll move you back up?
What do you think?
This is the challenge for Ollie.
What do you think the best order, the best lineup is in terms of the order? Like, what does that look like? Because right now you have Lars, who's been leading off, who's, I don't know if the traditional leadoff hitter is that anymore in baseball. Although Shohei leads off, he had like 50 stolen bases last year.
Mm-hmm.
So normally it's a guy that has the capability of stealing bases, being moved over if you have to sacrifice or going first to third, the best play in baseball. Like, you have to be able to do those things normally. Our number 3 hitter is not a guy that has a lot of power, but he's a guy that gets on base and that hits the ball really well. So what is the optimal lineup for this Cardinals team where you can capitalize off of the speed at the top of the lineup? And I guess they like speed at the bottom. That's why Victor Scott is staying there. Mm-hmm. And then the power 3, 4, and 5.
So traditionally speaking, leadoff hitter is somebody that's going to get on base.
Mm-hmm.
The 2-hole hitter is typically somebody that's a balance of being able to get on base with a little bit of pop. Because the thought process is, if the leadoff hitter gets on, now you can either get on and keep the chain moving, or pop one out and suddenly you get a 2-0 lead. That's in an ideal world. So two hitter, some pop,
some speed,
get on base.
Yeah.
3, typically a high contact guy. Somebody's not going to hit into a lot of double plays. Somebody again that's going to keep the chain moving or keep the line moving rather, and again get on base ability. 4, 5, that's your power. Mm-hmm. 4 and 5. 5 is just as much, I think, a power hitter as your cleanup hitter. Obviously, cleanup is going to be somebody that might bat in the first inning. 5, still a power spot. And then when you get to 6 and 7, you kind of start over. You want guys that are going to be, getting on base. So you ask a very good question, like what does that look like for the Cardinals? I think Jamie's got it. Brendan Donovan probably is your leadoff hitter, followed by maybe Newt.
Okay.
Because Newt would then be somebody that, I mean, maybe not this season, but somebody that does got some on-base ability and some pop mixed in. Then at 3, now you can start to mix in, maybe a Mason Wynn. 4, 5, I like what they're doing with Contreras and Herrera.
Yeah.
I would flip them, but who cares? We're,
splitting hairs a little bit. Both guys can touch seats.
Sure.
Herrera a little more often, but still.
Arenado's fine at 6.
Yeah.
And then you get into the Burlesons and the Gormans and whoever.
Yeah, I just don't know why sometimes it feels like the Cardinals complicate things.
Mm-hmm.
Like the obvious move, the easiest move, and nobody's going to question it. Donovan to leadoff. There you go. And then you can keep Wynn at number 2 if you want. You could put Herrera at 3, Contreras at 4. I don't know. I feel like sometimes it just gets complicated for no reason.
Sure. And by the way, we could move Wynn to you could keep Wynn too.
That's what I said.
Donovan, yeah, sorry, I was talking to Marsh.
Yeah, I know.
So
I can see you guys
Donovan 1, Wynn 2, Newt 3. I don't know if you mentioned who hit third.
I said Herrera 3, Contreras 4.
Who's 5?
Burley or Gorman right now. They're both hitting the ball pretty hard.
You don't have Newt playing?
Not today.
Oh, gosh.
No, he's got to learn his lesson.
How far would you drop Newt?
I'd bet him 5. I'd go kind of the order that they're going, whether it's whether it's Mason Wynn.
Well, it's all going to be men.
Combine the name. Whether it's Mason Wynn leading off or Donovan. I would probably go Wynn, Donovan, Herrera, Contreras, Newt.
Okay. All right.
That would be mine.
There's some lineup talk for you. All right, it's Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. What does Joel Hofer's future look like with the Blues? Kind of a under-the-radar storyline developing right now this offseason. That's next on 101 ESPN.
Hey, it's Carey Davis for Window Nation, and when it comes to your home, you want something that will last, not the fancy gimmicks, just solid work that stands the test of time. Window Nation has been St. Louis's trusted window pros for years, providing reliable, durable windows that are built to keep your home secure and comfortable. And right now, Window Nation is offering 4 windows with every 4 you buy. You can get a free entry door and a pair of St. Louis Cardinals tickets when you buy a house of windows. 0 down, 0 interest, and no payments for 2 full years. And those new windows can be installed in 1 day or less. All you need to do is reach out to them at 866-90-NATION or online at windownation.com. They have a 96% customer satisfaction rating, over 1,500 colors and styles to choose from, and you don't have to overpay for the expensive windows that may not be as good. Schedule your fast in-home free estimate right now. You need to hurry. The sale ends June 30th. That's, again, buy 4 windows, get 4 free, a free entry door, and a pair of St. Louis Cardinals tickets when you buy a house of windows. 0 down, 0 interest, and no payments for 2 full years. Call them today, 866-90-NATION, or online at windownation.com.
Fastline on 101 ESPN. We do need a new Gauntlet contestant. 314-399-9646 is the Air Comfort Service text line. So if you want to play in the Gauntlet in about, 5-10 minutes, got to text in 314-399-9646 after Marsh made quick work out of our guy yesterday.
Jeez,
quick work.
You dismantled him. Poor guy. Rumor is he called in sick for work today.
Oh, jeez.
Poor guy. Brian.
Really nice guy.
Hell of a guy.
Mm-hmm. All right. What does Joel Hofer's future look like with the Blues? Jamie, I think that this is one of the storylines that might be flying under the radar right now, but it has the ability to be a huge storyline at some point. The Blues used to have great goalie depth. They continue to have great goalie depth, but Hofer, he's a restricted free agent now. How imperative is it that Armstrong gets this right with Joel Hofer, and what are the options?
Yeah, so, look, go back a couple of years ago, and you had, Jordan Binnington, and you had Thomas Greiss, and you had your mixed match of goalies there. Hofer was in the minors, and at the time you had Hofer, Zarenko, Ellis. Those are your three guys that were, up and coming. Ellis, you were so good in the American League, Ellis went down to the East Coast League to get, number one starts as a goalie. Now, the process of development and maturation, Joel Hofer gets a chance to play in the NHL, and he's been in the NHL for 2 years now. And he's your guy. It seems like he's your backup guy. The problem is that Zarenko knows Hofer's the guy. And he said, I'm out. Signed with Dynamo Minsk in Russia. He's leaving. He's going back to Russia, playing the KHL, because he doesn't feel like he's going to get an opportunity here.
Quitter.
And he can make more money playing in the KHL. So now Colton Ellis, who was in the East Coast a couple of years ago, now he's your number one guy in the American League. Your goaltender depth is thinning. Now, they do have another young goaltender coming up. I forget his name. I watched him at camp. Shows signs of promise, but we're
long way away.
Long way away. So why is it important for the Blues to nail down Joel Hofer? Well, let's just look at right now. Let's just look at the Edmonton Oilers. They're in the Stanley Cup final, and they don't know who the hell their goalie is. Skinner's supposed to be the guy. He's being paid like he's the guy, but Calvin Pickard, he's actually been undefeated as a starter in this year's Stanley Cup playoffs. He's the backup goalie. So now the dilemma tomorrow, is it tomorrow? Tomorrow.
We don't know.
No, Thursday. Thursday, when they play again, is Skinner the starter or is Pickard the starter? They're both essentially backup goalies right now. Mm-hmm. The Blues are very fortunate right now. They've got Jordan Binnington, who we know is a number one goalie, and a very successful big game goalie. Problem is you've only got 2 more years of Jordan Binnington. You've got this upcoming season and one past that, and then he's unrestricted. What does that mean? It means he can walk if he wants, or the Blues can let him walk, or they could renegotiate. He re-ups, and then Jordan Binnington does the Marc-Andre Fleury flip-flop. He becomes the backup. Hofer's the number one. That would be in a perfect world, because then you still have the veteran guy there if necessary. So you look at Joel Hofer, there could be offer sheets. If Army's not careful, there are so many teams in the NHL that need a goaltender. And with the extra cap space that's available, somebody might throw a number out there that is ridiculous. They might say, look, we don't think Joel Hofer is a number one goalie right now, but he's our number one goalie. So we can allocate the funds that we would normally spend. So if you're ready to spend $5 or $6 million a year on a number one goalie, somebody could come in and say, here you go, bam, Joel Hofer, 3 years, $18 million. The Blues got to think about matching that now.
Under that, in that scenario, you talk about the entire offseason changing for the Blues then.
Yeah.
If Doug Armstrong wants to match that, and there are good reasons why you should match that, right? Looking ahead to the future. So given that situation, in that situation, the Blues could either decide, hey, we're going to let our future goaltender walk, because we need to allocate those funds elsewhere, or the entire offseason changes because you decide that Joel Hofer is too important of a commodity to let go. And now you're spending those resources, that cap space, to not upgrade your team, but again, keep Joel Hofer in place.
So last year, Joel Hofer made $775,000. I'm going to tell you something right now. He's going to get a heck of a raise. He's going to get a heck of a raise. Some of the comparables around the league, Schmid with the Devils, 2 years at
What you call Carey?
Yep.
I don't know.
At 2 years, $875 AAV. Tarasov with the Blue Jackets, 3 years at $1.5 million AAV. That ain't happening. It's gonna have to look more like a Philip Gustafson with the Minnesota Wild. 3 years, $3.75 million per year. It's gonna have to be every bit of that, maybe even 3 times 4.
Yeah.
Which is gonna change things for the Blues, just because now your salary cap is gonna be used up. You're gonna have about $10 million in goaltenders, which is fine because Sergei Bobrovsky's $10 million a year just on his own.
Sure.
But again, I think that the Blues are gonna have to really think this one out. If I'm Army, I want to get this locked up with Joel Hofer before I have to qualify him with an offer and then leave the door open for another team to come off the top rope that have nobody in the pipeline and go, I'm willing to spend $5 million a year on Joel Hofer.
Yeah.
No problem. I'm willing to do it. Or $6 million a year because I know what he can be. Mm-hmm. So it's an interesting scenario that the Blues are caught up in.
Gauntlet next in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN.
Four warriors, 4 categories, 1 challenger. Can you survive the Gauntlet.
Brought to you by Blue Note Roofing. Roofing, siding, and gutters. Visit BlueNoteRoofingSTL.com for a free inspection.
404, your time check is brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler with Carey Davis, Andrew Marsh, and Jane Rivers. I'm Anthony Stalter, and we welcome in Kyle to the program. What's up, Kyle?
Hey, how you guys doing?
We're doing great. Appreciate you playing. Thanks for listening. You've got everybody on the show today up for grabs. So you got Marsh, Carey, Jamie, or me. Who would you like to play in round one of the Gauntlet?
Well, I got an 8-year-old hockey player. He'd want me to go after Jamie, so let's go for Jamie.
There you go. All right, Jamie Rivers is up first.
Kyle. Good luck, my man.
All right, you too. Thanks, man.
Thank you.
All right, so Jamie's going to make his way into the cone of silence. Kyle, go ahead and tell Marsh to spin the wheel.
Spin the wheel.
What are you hoping for, Kyle?
Hockey. Shoot my shot.
Okay. All right.
Sometimes the wheel gives you the opposite of what you want. Not today. It is hockey.
All right.
Hey, you asked for it. You wanted it. You're a big hockey fan, it seems like, Kyle. You chose Jamie. So if you could beat Jamie in his sport, what a great win that would be. He's locked in.
Right.
Yep. All right. That's how it's going to work, Kyle. You're going to get 4 questions, all hockey related. Each question is worth 2 points unless you ask for the options. If you ask for the options, those questions become worth 1 point. Are you ready?
Let's do it.
How many different NHL teams did Jaromir Jagr play for in his NHL career? How many different NHL teams did Jaromir Jagr play for in his NHL career?
Considering he's my favorite player, you'd think I know this. Let's go 6.
Final answer?
Yep.
Question number 2. Jagr played the most game in his career with the Pittsburgh Penguins. For which team did he play the second most games in his career?
Rangers.
Final answer?
Final answer. Yep.
Question number 3. In the playoffs this year, the Blues finished with more goals than which team that made it to the second round?
Not Dallas. Not Florida. Let's go Toronto Maple Leafs. Final answer.
All right, Kyle, last question. Name the player who has scored 3 overtime goals in this year's playoffs. Name the player who has scored 3 overtime goals in this year's playoffs.
Brad Marchand.
Final answer?
Final answer. Yep.
All right, let's motion Jamie back in. How you feeling, Kyle?
We'll see in about 2 minutes.
All right. Jamie's making his way back in from the cone of silence. Putting his earbuds back in.
Yep.
Jamie, how was it?
Really quiet. It's Grant is not here. Mike Ryder not here. It really is just a silent closet, basically.
You were alone with your thoughts.
I was, Anthony.
Good.
Let me tell you.
Yeah, scary stuff.
There's some things going on.
All right, Jamie, your category today is hockey.
Oh.
Hockey is your category.
Kyle said he had an 8-year-old hockey player. So he probably wanted hockey.
Here we go.
Okay. Good talk.
Pack a lunch.
Kyle did want hockey. Yes.
Okay.
How many different NHL teams did Jaromir Jagr play for in his NHL career?
Wow. Since he's played 3,000 games, it's
exactly.
Probably
exactly
quite a few. So let me think real quick here. Okay. So he went Pittsburgh, Rangers, Capitals, Bruins, Stars, Panthers. Man, he's a suitcase. He's played on more teams than I have, I think. I think it's 9. Final answer.
Yager played the most games in his career with the Pittsburgh Penguins. For which team did he play the second most games in his career?
I would believe that to be the New York Rangers. It's probably close with the Capitals, but I go with Rangers. Final answer.
Question number 3. In the playoffs this year, the Blues finished with more goals than which team that made it to the second round?
What?
So there was
any other team that made it to the second round?
There's one team that made it to the second round. The Blues actually had more goals than that team.
There's lots of teams that made it to the second round.
But the Blues had more goals than that specific team. Than one specific team that made it to the second round.
This is confusing. Forget it. Options.
Options are the Washington Capitals, the Vegas Golden Knights, or the Winnipeg Jets.
Well, they had more goals than Winnipeg Jets. They had a couple of blowouts here at home. I don't know with the Capitals and all that other stuff, but yeah, Winnipeg Jets. Final answer.
Final question. Name the player who has scored 3 overtime goals in this year's playoffs.
I believe that's Leon Draisaitl. I believe. Final answer.
All right, let's go over these.
All right.
Jaromir Jagr played the most games in his career with the Pittsburgh Penguins. For which team did he play the second most games in his career? You both said Rangers. Correct answer is
the Rangers.
Neither of you needed the options on that one. We got a 2-2 tie.
Nice job, Kyle.
In the playoffs this year, the Blues finished with more goals than which team that made it to the second round? Kyle said the Toronto Maple Leafs. Jamie, confused as all hell, said the Winnipeg Jets. Correct answer is...
It's the Washington Capitals.
It's the Washington Capitals.
I still don't understand the damn question. Stupid.
So the Capitals played 2 rounds, and the Blues scored more goals in their first round than the Capitals scored in both of their rounds.
That's a really dumb question. Sorry, whoever made it up, Bradford or Grant.
Probably Grant.
I think Grant, you did a hell of a job.
Yeah.
So we got a 2-2 tie. How many different NHL teams did Jaromir Jagr play for in his NHL career? Jamie said 9. Kyle said 6. Correct answer is
9.
Nice job, Jamie. Jamie up 4-2 now on Kyle. Comes down to this. Name the player who has scored 3 overtime goals in this year's playoffs. You both have different answers. Mm-hmm. Neither of you used the options.
Oh, I like the suspense.
Jamie went with Leon Draisaitl. Kyle went with Brad Marchand. If it's Brad Marchand, we get a walk-off. If it's Leon Draisaitl, Jamie wins today 6-2. Both of those options, by the way, were options. Both those players were options.
Who's the third one?
Alex Ovechkin.
Oh, yeah.
So if it's Alex Ovechkin, Jamie wins 4-2 today. Kyle.
You have chosen poorly.
You lose. Not today.
It was Alex Ovechkin.
Was it?
No, Leon Draisaitl. Leon Draisaitl.
I know Leon scored 3.
Yeah. Jamie 6, Kyle 2. Kyle, sorry, pal. Appreciate the efforts, though, man.
Oh, I appreciate it, fellas. Thanks for having me on today.
Thank you for listening. Thanks for playing.
Take care, buddy.
See ya.
Thanks.
All right, there you go. Jamie, nice job. Congratulations on the dub.
Thank you.
6-2
that was
win.
a very confusing question, though.
Well, you know what? We can either focus on the 6 points that she scored in the win, or we can continue to go back to that question.
I just wanted.
It's your choice.
I just want consistency for all of our questions. That's all.
Okay.
And I like consistent officiating in the Stanley Cup final. Am I right, Carey?
No, definitely.
Yeah.
Well, I like disciplined hockey.
Yeah,
Not a bunch of donkey stuff.
Just calling penalties left and right for no reason. You're trying to give
for no reason.
Yeah, no damn reason.
The Oilers should be charged for 10 or 11 different counts of assault.
Depends on who you ask.
You don't see those Edmonton. You don't see Edmonton fans pouring their drink on the opposing team's player.
No, they poured it on each other and they're beating each other up last night at the watch party.
Whatever,
Jamie.
What?
Just let him go.
I know, but it's fun.
Jamie.
I like to throw a little gas in there. Just a little bit.
Jamie, just let him go. You're right, guys. It was the officiating in that 6-1 loss last night for you guys.
Yeah, well,
What, they had 45 penalties?
Yeah. I mean, Wes McCauley, certainly, one of the best in the game. Probably had a bad night.
Bad night.
That's all it was.
Carey, last time I checked, hockey was played 5-on-5, not 5-on-4 for
25
50 minutes of the game.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
Ridiculous.
It's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
A couple of real marginal calls for sure.
No doubt. Yep. No doubt.
Those referees looking at. Let the kids play.
I'll tell you what they were doing, Carey. They're getting in the way.
Yeah.
And that's how the Panthers scored one of their goals.
The third one. Yeah. They ain't just doing whatever
He was just
they wanna
standing
do.
in the way.
Yeah, get out the damn way. What are you trying to assist?
He missed a slashing call.
Come on.
Yeah, like 7 of them on the.
Come on. What are we doing here?
Gators
Changed the whole
asking.
momentum of the game, Anthony.
So Gator's asking, Marshy, what is the Fast Lane's Gauntlet record in hockey this year?
Ooh, I'll take a look right now.
Marshy's got all the stats.
I feel like
Let's
I'm
take
getting
a
a lot of
peek
hockey
here.
recently.
We'll just go through each one of us. Anthony, 7-0 in 2025. That's
you,
pretty
sir.
impressive.
Thank you.
Jamie now is 6-0.
That's 13-0.
I am 7-1.
That is
23 and 1.
No, 20.
20-1.
Carries 4.
13 plus 7 is 20.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Sorry, my bad.
It's okay.
And then what's Carey's?
Yeah, 4 and 8.
So 24-9.
10 and 25 are the listeners.
Oh,
okay.
10 wins, 25.
How does that math
I
work?
don't know. It didn't work. But, guys,
24
it's the
and
Fast
9,
Lane.
and they are 10. And maybe they faced
You know why?
Alex?
Because
you have
Alex is 1-0.
Yeah.
And Riz is 0-1.
There you go.
I also have their stats as well.
Nice job,
4 and
Marsh.
8.
Nice job. Way to go.
Man,
No, you're fine,
I gotta
CD.
do better.
What's CD's best category?
CD's best category is football. He is 9-2.
Not a baby.
9-2.
Nice. All right. Waterboy says the answer is 69. Doesn't really matter what the question is.
Always.
That was yesterday's date, by the way.
69, yeah, that's right. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, this made me chuckle when Jamie threw it on our little topic sheet. Couldn't have made Carey too happy, though. That's next on 101 ESPN.
How does $21 million in guaranteed prizes sound? Sounds great to me. That's what Circa Sports is offering right now. They've got their Circa Millionaire and Circa Survivor pools going. There is no rake, so if entries go above the guarantee, all extra money will go to the prize pool. Entries open May 23rd, which was just a while ago, and they close September 6th at 2 p.m. You must register in person at a Circa Sportsbook in Nevada. That is the easy part. Head out to Las Vegas, get over to Circa Sports. You will absolutely love the casino, the restaurants, the environment, the sportsbook, the swim-up bar. All of that is amazing. And once you make your picks there, then you can manage it weekly from anywhere you want, including your Circa Sports Illinois app, too. The app is unbelievably great. It's got great money line splits, best odds out there of any app that you can download, high betting limits, and it's extremely user-friendly. So please don't miss out on any of the action. Get to Circa Sports, place your bet on Circa Million or Circa Survivor, or download the Circa Sports Illinois app today. Make sure you're in on all the excitement. If you're someone you know may have a problem with gambling, call 1-800-GAMBLER or text ILGAMB to 833-234.
So apparently, Aaron Rodgers was not the Steelers' first choice at quarterback. Hell, he wasn't even the second, Carey. Apparently, the Steelers, according to Adam Schefter, Steelers wanted Matthew Stafford. He was the first choice, but they couldn't agree to a trade with the LA Rams, so they decided to move on.
Yeah.
To Justin Fields, who was already in the building. He was their second choice, but he wanted out. He wanted out so bad he was willing to go to the Jets, where quarterbacks since Joe Willie Namath have gone to die.
Oh, wow.
Metaphorically.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So the Steelers said, hell, we'll just take Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers' contract, 1 year, $13.65 base, $10 million signing bonus, $14.15 million cap hit. Carey, I know you've been pretty fired up since the Steelers, your Steelers, decided to make the deal official with Aaron. How does this make you feel?
Well, here's the thing, Anthony. You know, everyone is not able to wear the black and gold. It is a privilege, right?
They wanted to.
Everyone, they didn't want him that bad. And if they didn't want to be there, we got the Cardinals philosophy. You don't want to be here, you can get the fast lane on. We don't need you here. Everyone is not capable of leading the black and gold to a championship. I told you all what the standard is. The standard is the standard.
Yeah.
It is a sticky Lombardi. It is touching that thing at the end of a hard-fought game in the Super Bowl, and it's sticky. And everybody got their fingerprints on it. You know? That's what the standard is. And everybody ain't capable. You know why Aaron Rodgers is capable? Because he's done it.
Matthew Stafford's also done it.
Yes.
More recently, too.
Man, don't worry about that. How'd he finish? Huh? How many MVPs he got? Huh? None? How'd he finish? Dead last? Had a good day.
His wife has a podcast.
He's definitely finishing dead last, right? Right?
Some days.
Yeah. That's bad.
My husband doesn't even know who the Rams receivers are. They're so young, doesn't even know their first names.
That wasn't the worst thing she said.
Dated the other quarterback to make my husband jealous.
That's
what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You didn't hear that one?
She said that?
Yeah, she basically said,
at Georgia.
Yeah.
I got
I
with
did hear
another
that.
guy to make him jealous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That worked. I don't know if you want to revisit that story, though, but it apparently worked.
Who needs to know that?
Yeah.
I just don't think anybody needs to know that.
Maybe she's self-conscious and she just wants to remind herself that, hey,
Or
at one
remind
point
him.
I had options.
Now remind him. Kind of
Oh,
ridiculous.
I'm sure the other option is way better than Matthew Stafford. Come on, Anthony.
You know.
I don't know.
It happens, I guess.
Either way, Carey, third place is still on the podium, right? Like,
It
it's
is.
fine. A bronze medal's a medal.
You know what? Third place in the postseason, in the preseason, excuse me. Come postseason, they'll be first place.
Oh, really?
That's all that matters.
Yeah.
You know, we're not here for off-season
How does it make you feel,
awards
though?
or rewards.
Honestly, never mind Matthew Stafford because he's way better than Aaron Rodgers is. But how does it make you feel that the Steelers wanted Justin Fields ahead of Aaron Rodgers?
I don't feel anyway. They had him.
No,
they saw what he was capable of doing.
But no, they wanted him.
Well,
And he said no.
He chose the job.
Yeah,
So
'cause
they wanted
wanted
him
him-
over Rodgers, and we know how bad Fields was last year.
He wasn't bad.
No, he
just
wasn't
couldn't
great,
throw.
Carey. Well,
Which is
it's kind of a problem. We don't have a
part of the
halfback
criteria
anymore.
for being a quarterback. You know?
No, how does it make you feel? Third place to Justin Fields.
I feel like it's going to be a better. I think Aaron Rodgers is, and this is me being honest and truthful, I think Aaron Rodgers is better suited for that situation as opposed to a Justin Fields. Matthew Stafford would have been okay as well. The reason why he'd have been fine as well. Ahead of
DK Metcalf.
No, he'd have been great. Okay, yeah, he'd have been great. He'd have been okay. He'd have been fine.
Just want honesty, Carey.
But here's the reason. If Artie the Party, whom Anthony loves because he did such a great job in Atlanta for him and his team, if Artie the Party is unable to get the offense going in a manner in which, I don't know, produces points, let's just say, or yards.
Crazy concept.
Weird to think that should be part of the offense. Aaron Rodgers has played enough football where he can get things going in the manner in which they need to go.
Like he did last year?
Yeah, he did, actually. He performed really well. He didn't stink last year. I know people,
I don't
the
think he
team stunk,
but like
he didn't stink.
He was
No, he didn't stink. He was
fine.
He was good. And so, for me, watching Aaron Rodgers this year, I'm going to be intrigued to see how well the Steelers play with him under center. They haven't had any help, really, since Ben retired. Since Ben's last couple of years.
You might be getting the same version of Ben right now.
Nah.
Pretty close, maybe.
Nah. He'll be better.
Yeah.
Anthony, you know it. Tell him.
It's the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Major League Baseball power rankings. Where are the Cardinals, and what does it mean for them? You might be surprised by their rankings. That's next on 101 ESPN.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
All right, let's try this again. I'm Andrew Marsh, and it's time for a Sports Center update driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. The Cardinals fall to the Blue Jays last night by a final score of 5-4. Miles Michaelis on the mound tonight for the Cardinals, going up against Chris Bassett of the Toronto Blue Jays. First pitch is at 6:45. The Florida Panthers took care of business last night against the Edmonton Oilers, 6-1 in Game 3. The Panthers lead that series 2-1. We'll have Game 4 for you right here on 101 ESPN on Thursday. Pregame starts at 6:30. Puck drop is at 7. If you miss anything from today's show, make sure you go to 101ESPN.com or check out the free Dobbs Tire and Auto Center's 101 ESPN mobile app. Just head to the podcast page and you'll find all of our shows there. And it's all brought to you by the Schaefer Door Company. MLB Power Rankings. Where are the Cardinals and what does this mean for the team? I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. See them at Londoff.com. Chevy, together we drive. Are you kidding me?
As Marsh just told you in the Sports Center update, we're going to be talking about MLB Power Rankings. Everybody loves a good power ranking. Now, do you just scroll to your favorite team and see where it's ranked? Sure. You ever read the intro to those things? Hell no. But they're fun as all hell. Aren't they?
It's a hell of a setup, Anthony.
Thank you. What if I told you, stay in theme of the show today, what if I told you that your Cardinals are ranked in the top 10? Right now in Major League Baseball, that they're a top 10 team. Huh?
Who? I think that's pretty dang on good. Anthony?
Cardinals. Top 10. Week ago, they were 11 in the Athletic Power Rankings. Now they're 10.
Would it matter to you?
Yes.
If they're, okay, thank you for that. If they are a top 10 team, but 6 of the teams in front of them are in the National League, would that matter?
No.
Doesn't matter?
Unless it's a ranking of the National League.
Well, I mean, why wouldn't that matter, Anthony?
Because it's all in the wording, Carey.
But
There's
I'm saying
30 Major League Baseball teams. If I
when they do the playoffs.
What if I told you they were a top 10 team?
Why are you being negative?
Just ask the question.
You had your Dodger chance
Everybody gets excited.
I just asked the question. I think it's awesome. My next question is that if there are 6 teams in front of them in the National League, how many teams get into the playoffs from the National League?
This is just a power rankings, Carey. This isn't standings,
NFL,
you know?
7's number.
So the Cardinals are number 10. Outstanding. Would you like to read, or would you like me to read? You want me to read it?
I'll read it.
Go ahead.
I need to practice.
All right.
Tigers, number 1. The Mets are number 2. Dodgers, Carey's Dodgers, number 3.
Shameful.
They were last ranked 1, and then they came to St. Louis.
Yep.
Got their asses handed to them, and now the Dodgers are 3rd.
Wow.
Yeah, but they're tied. Yankees are also 3. The Cubs are 5th. The Giants are 6. The Phillies are 7. Padres 8. Houston 9. Then your Cardinals. One big question. What do you do at the deadline? For a team that emphasized development above all in 2025, the Cardinals are certainly playing well. Sitting just 1 game back in the NL wildcard standings, the Cardinals have as good a shot as any to make the postseason. Jamie, I'm going to read that again. I'm going to read that again.
Please do.
Sitting just 1 game back in the NL wildcard standings, the Cardinals, our Cardinals, except for Carey,
mine too,
have as good a shot as any to make the postseason. So what do the Cardinals do at the deadline? Any one of Eric Fetty, Ryan Helsley, Phil Maton, and Steven Matz could fetch a pretty nice return, especially with how the pitching market is shaping up. They could also help the Cardinals complete a surprise postseason run, which is what Marsh, our dear Marshy, is hoping they do. Whether it's a full fire sale, a deep October run, or something down the middle, the Cardinals have some tough decisions to make in the upcoming weeks. Cardinals, top 10 team.
It's a wonderful thing.
Yeah, certainly.
I think the biggest question is the most important question that we've been asking really for, I don't know, since May, when this team started winning games. April, we were like, man, who cares?
Mm-hmm.
Not that we don't care, but you kind of saw.
Tough to care.
It was very tough.
Especially with the Blues doing their thing.
Exactly. But now, here we are in June. May was really good. June has been, it's been okay.
Some good, some bad.
Some good, some bad. Where does this team go come trade deadline? We still got a ways away. But I think Marshy told me what his thought process, he believes that playoffs above all. Mm-hmm. I believe in making sure that the team is still going to be preparing for a better team for the next few years. And if you can make the playoffs, cool. If not, cool, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think is the most important? Do you feel that the playoffs are the most important thing for this team this year?
I'm going to reframe that a little bit. I think the goal should be to make the playoffs while also setting yourself up for the future.
You can only do one.
One eye on the present, one eye on the future. That's what I'm doing. That's my final answer.
Okay.
One eye on the present, one eye in the future.
Yeah.
One-eyed Willie.
Yep. Well, no. I got two eyes.
One-eyed Willie.
No. You're not listening. One eye on the present, one eye in the future. One eye is on making the postseason.
Yeah.
Other eye, getting this franchise set up for success. Jamie, come on with me.
Yeah, I don't know if you can do that.
Jamie's with me.
Right. Yeah, I don't understand why you can't do both.
Thank you.
No, I understand your question. You're like, pick one or the other.
Which one is more important this year, in your opinion? Maybe I didn't phrase that question correctly.
One eye on the playoffs, one eye on the future.
To Anthony.
That's what I was told.
I've always been a big advocate for team success. Mm-hmm. And I do think that you can make the playoffs this year without sacrificing potential to pick up some young players or missing the boat on trading a Helsley and those guys. I don't think those guys have that much of a huge impact on your roster right now. I think you're getting it done with a lot of the youth that you've brought up. Contreras is one of the, not youth, but you brought him in. Herrera's a young guy. Donovan's homegrown. Newt's homegrown. Mason Wynn, homegrown. We've gone down this alley before. I think it's pivotal that the Cardinals at least make a push to make the playoffs with this group that has proven that they deserve a chance to maybe add even a small piece at the deadline. Nothing more discouraging than playing your guts out, overachieving, being so close, and then the team just says, we don't really care. We don't really care. Thanks for your service. We don't really care. We're doing what we got to do. I'm not talking about missing out on a deal where if someone says, hey, we want to give you X, Y, and Z because we absolutely need Eric Fetty, then you make that trade.
Correct.
But then McGreevy should come in and be able to pick up some of the slack there. Matthew Liberatore, Andre Palante, Sonny Gray. I think you can do both, but I do think the eye on the prize should be getting this young team some playoff experience and rewarding your fan base.
So maybe my point is,
Jamie
the
just
players that they have, one eye on the future, one eye on the present. I
didn't say it that way.
That's exactly what he said. Maybe my point that I'm making is, if you are able to get something in return for the players that are going to be free agents, the players that you have to replace them aren't a downgrade.
No.
So
I'm not saying you hang on to those guys.
Why don't you just? I'm riding here. Jamie's thinking about hopping on. Why don't you just hop on?
No, that's what I don't think. So what I'm saying is, if there's, and I have said that, if there's something that you can get in return for a person that is an impending free agent,
right,
you should do that, because the players that you have to, we're not even talking about anyone in the lineup. We're not replacing any position player in this scenario. We're replacing guys that will be free agents next year. Mm-hmm. So you just said if Fetty is a guy on the list, you got Michael McGreevy right there sitting there waiting. You got Plesac, who you just signed potentially.
I got the McGreevy things, but
I'm just saying you got options.
Correct me if I'm wrong here, but what we're saying and what you're saying is
same thing.
One eye on the prize.
Exactly.
Oh, God.
That's what we're all saying. That's what we're all saying.
You just said,
Carey,
too.
Carey.
I have said that all day.
You're walking around right now, okay? And I'm going to let you walk through wherever you want to walk through, okay? At some point, you're going to come back to this because we're all saying the same thing, okay?
I think we are. I don't think, is Marsh in agreement? Or are we all saying the same thing?
I don't know if Marsh is with us yet, but here's where I'm coming from, okay? And I know that some people love Eric Fetty. Think the absolute world of Eric Fetty. You cannot replace Eric Fetty. If you can't replace Eric Fetty within your organization, you got issues. So if the Boston Red Sox or Yankees or whoever comes, hey, we want some Eric Fetty. Great, you can have him.
What do you need in return?
It's young starting pitching, young cost-controlled starting pitching. And then I'm bringing Michael McGreevy up. I'm putting him in the rotation.
Yeah.
I got to be able to replace what Eric Fetty's bringing to the table. I'm sorry. Sometimes I feel like we treat Eric Fetty and some of these other players like they are just, oh, man, you can't replace that guy.
Who's
really?
We?
Brandon Kyler. Oh. Marsh. Maybe sometimes you.
No.
You know?
My stance revolves around Ryan Helsley.
Same thing.
We fixed it.
He can be traded too.
Yeah.
You got people that can replace. You have to get to Ryan Helsley.
Who closed out the 2006 World Series for your St. Louis Cardinals?
Adam Wainwright did.
You got a poster on your wall now, him.
Actually, I don't.
You got a puzzle somewhere that you're going to frame, put it on your wall somewhere.
Yeah.
With that guy.
Yeah, as a starter, for sure.
He was not a closer that year, my friend.
In 2006?
Nope.
He was a closer.
He was not a starter.
Sorry, for starter. Thank you. Thank you. I got lost in the puzzle thing.
Yeah.
He wasn't a starter that year. He was a closer. He wasn't even your best closer all year. He stepped up when the time was right.
My point is,
and somebody else will in this Cardinals rotation.
The Yankees had a guy last year that was their closer all year long, and then they said he stinks.
Yeah.
We're going to go to another guy.
This guy sucks.
So I don't think it's that big of a deal.
And they brought in Luke Dreamweaver.
And they were in the World Series.
Yes, they were.
And they lost to the Dodgers.
Well, everybody's going to lose to the Dodgers.
I agree. Except for the Cardinals. 2 out of 3.
Correct.
My thought process is if you get rid of Ryan Helsley, perhaps some of the players feel as if you are giving up on them for this season, and they would believe that Ryan Helsley gives them the best opportunity to shut down other teams late in games.
So you're worried.
And if you are giving them that notion and things start to spiral, then maybe you regress from where you were, where you could have been heading into 2026.
So you're worried about the Milwaukee Brewers effect?
Perhaps.
Okay.
What did they do?
They did not do well.
Did they not make the playoffs that year?
No. That year, no. But then they were right back in.
Right back in it the next year?
Yes.
Okay.
What I would say is, and this is going to be harsh and a little skeptical, a little jaded of me, okay?
It's hard to believe.
I want you to hear this, Marsh. I'll ignore that. I want you to hear this, Marsh. The Milwaukee Brewer effect that you just described, it's real. Your feelings matter.
Thank you.
But if these guys, these professionals, are worried about
Anthony, they're young.
Them trading guys and be like, oh no, we can't win. I got the wrong clubhouse. I want winners.
Yeah.
I don't want fragile players that are just gonna go into their little cubbies and just curl up in a ball.
It's a different team.
Like a tornado's about to rip through and CD and Jamie are curled up in that little ball in the basement.
Huh?
I don't want that. Okay? I don't want that.
Some would say we were smart, Jamie. Others.
I want natural born winners.
Yeah.
They're gonna stay there and they're gonna face that thing head on. And they're gonna say, we're gonna survive.
Yeah, what if they blow a bunch of games late in the year? Because
the good news is they've already done that 3 times now.
That is
true.
All star closer. That is true,
and
Anthony.
we're still here. Okay,
Anthony. My biggest concern is that you have one eye on the playoffs and one eye on the future, but you also could be like crazy eyes from Mr. Deeds.
I think if you got one eye on one thing and one eye on the other, you do have your eyes are all over the place.
I've had that happen before.
Eyes going different
I've had
places.
one eye over here and one eye over there.
That's different. What you're describing is something totally different.
You don't know what I'm describing.
I know exactly what you're describing.
No
I know
idea.
exactly what you're describing, Jamie.
not.
What you're talking about is something different.
Let me know.
Okay. All right.
Making sure I got a man that's open up the ice and my defense partner's open too. Anthony.
We get a text from 314. I'm listening before stepping into a meeting, and I hear about getting playoff experience for the young core. An hour later, I get back in my car, and I'm hearing about the team getting playoff experience for the young core.
You timed it weird because we
did some space there, but that's funny.
That's a long meeting.
That is a long meeting. I hope you got a lot accomplished. I hope you have one eye on the present, one eye on the future.
What do you guys think about meetings, real quick?
Some of them are pointless.
Some of them make you feel real sad.
Sometimes you take over the said meeting.
Sometimes, if they're virtual, you decide to take over the meeting on accident.
Yeah, I hate meetings that aren't productive. I hate meetings that are just fluff. Like, hey, let's meet. Let's talk about this. And absolutely nothing comes of the meeting. I'll call that. I'll say, hey, let's just do a phone call then. And then when we're ready to get closer to figure things out, then we have a meeting. And
meeting of minds.
Yeah, but then we like put the things together so that from now on, I don't like a meeting to have a meeting to have a meeting later.
Yeah, people say you got to live with intent. And I think that covers that, Jamie.
Live intense. Why do you have to
live with intent?
Intense, like intensity.
Intensity.
Well, live with intensity.
You can, some of the tents now are pretty damn
They
cool.
are. I mean, but yeah, you want to live.
You can live in a tent, but that wasn't my point.
You could, depending on where you live in the country.
Guys, I
said
was saying
intensity. Live it with intensity.
Yeah,
didn't even say that.
Like be aggressive towards your neighbor.
Okay. Yeah.
No.
Dave knows
because he's living in a tent.
He's great. Yeah. No, he's not living in a tent. He's got a very nice house.
He can't clear it. Can't do so. He doesn't have his mower. He took his mower.
Yeah.
I didn't take his mower. I had my own mower.
You took something.
You left something. You left the shovels that he broke in his garage.
I can't believe you put those shovels back after you broke them.
I was cleaning out my garage. I almost texted you guys the killing hole held up to one shovel because I think we need a new one. That's fine.
I'll leave it on this. From the 618, having each eye on a different thing means you're not focused on either.
Oh,
that's not true.
Stop it.
I can tell you that's not true.
Marsh, congratulations. You combed through the text line. You found the one person that agreed with you, and then you're like,
yeah. Well, that's kind of
how this goes.
I do it too. Yeah.
We're always recruiting.
Of course, yeah. Called an echo chamber. Yes. We all live in one. Is the Panthers style of hockey just too much for other teams to handle, specifically the Oilers?
Oh, boy.
That's next on 101 ESPN. Jamie, my Panthers took the Oilers behind the woodshed last night. Up on the woodshed, behind the woodshed, underneath the woodshed, side of the woodshed. Yeah, it was absolute blowout. Now, the Oilers are still in it, as Jamie and I know.
Oh, yeah.
But the Panthers also play a style of hockey that might be just too much for teams to handle. And I think that was on display last night.
Yeah, so let's go back just for a second. Let's go back to the Blues Winnipeg Jets, that first series. And what's the one thing that we noticed about that series compared to almost any series in the NHL?
Physicality, the big hits.
The big hits. The dirty play, the chippy play, blocking shots, the hitting, all that. And the one thing that we noticed, I think, overall, the entire fan base, including the front office and anybody else who watched that series, that come the third period in Game 7, the Blues are kind of tuckered out. They were hanging on. Should have still got the victory because of some mistakes, but still. Then in overtime, it was all Winnipeg.
Mm-hmm.
So can you imagine now, if you had gone to the Stanley Cup final 2 years ago, won the Stanley Cup last year, and you're back in the Stanley Cup final this year, playing that exact brand of hockey for 82 games, plus however many in the playoffs, for 3 years in a row.
Mm-hmm.
That's a team that just, it's built different. They're built different. And I think the Blues can get there. I think that the mentality of the players and the willingness to engage and sacrifice, all of those things are there. Are there some personnel pieces that are missing? Yeah, probably a little bit. Like, you look at the Florida Panthers, that's a big team. Overall, it's a big, heavy team. And if you look at their regular seasons, last couple of years, they've been fine. This year, they're at third place, I think, in their own division. But they're in the Stanley Cup final. Mm-hmm. Because when it comes time to play playoff-style hockey, they're able to do it. And the way they do it, and like, look at what they added. They added Brad Marchand, one of the most hated players in the NHL. In fact, one of the most hated players in the Panthers locker room when he was a Bruin. And they went and said, you know what? I hate his guts. He's going to be an awesome Panther. Get in here. And what has he done? He's excelled with the Panthers. He's involved in every scrum. Big hits, taking hits, blocking shots, penalty killing, scoring huge goals for the Panthers. He knows how to play that brand of hockey. Brad Marchand is a Stanley Cup champion, got back to the Stanley Cup against the St. Louis Blues, and he's back there again with the Florida Panthers, playing that style or that brand of hockey. It's not easy. And the Oilers last night, to me, was a great example. And again, this series is so far from over. When you have McDavid and Draisaitl and some of the other pieces that the Oilers have, the series is never out of reach. But here's what I noticed last night. The Edmonton Oilers started to play what they thought was Panthers hockey. It's almost like, well, this is how we're going to do it, right? This is what they do. We're going to cheap shot them. We're going to be aggressive, and we're going to be mean. And we're going to spend the whole damn night in the penalty box. Like the calls, love the calls, hate the calls, doesn't matter. The referee still even laid off. There's at least another 4 or 5 penalties the Oilers could have had. Maybe 2 or 3 more for the Panthers. I don't care how you slice it up. But the Panthers play an extremely frustrating brand of hockey, and they are uber disciplined.
Yeah.
Uber disciplined. And that makes it even more frustrating for the opposition when you try to engage the Panthers in their own kind of hockey, but they won't engage you. Yeah. It's on their terms.
Well, it's fake tough guy at that point.
It's
you got to play.
You're like you're trying.
There's a reason why Edmonton, the Oilers are super talented. I mean, elite. There's a reason why they're 1 goal shy from winning it all last year. There's a reason why they're right back in it this year, despite trailing the Kings early in that series. They're around 2-0.
Yeah.
They're an elite team. They cannot play the style that the Panthers do.
Marsh, what I hear Jamie and Anthony saying is that, I don't know, we should go pick up our Just for Men as soon as possible because the Oilers are done. They're cooked.
Carey.
He said they're cooked.
Tell me what you see, Carey.
They're not as physical.
Tell me what you see.
Yeah.
Instead of the Just for Men thing, tell me what you see in the series right now.
I see last night that the Oilers were unable to play that style. I do think the Oilers playing the style that they are, who they are, it's almost like how they say styles make fights. Like you got a bruiser, a guy that punches you in the face, and you got a guy that is quick, good hands,
can use his body,
and physically gifted. if you are trying to out punch a puncher, you're going to get knocked out. And that's what the Oilers tried to do last night. They tried to out punch the puncher. They need to go back to the drawing board and say, hey, fellas, we can't beat them trying to be the bully. They are the bullies. We're skilled. Let's be more, and it's not a drastic level in skill, but we are more skilled than they are. Let's do that. And let's, Stewart, stop a puck or two. That's all I'm asking.
Or sit on the bench.
Or don't play. Give
but
us
you're
something.
right, Carey. You know what? Right now, it's very comparable to an MMA fight, to where you have two different styles of fighting, and the fighter who gets the other guy to fight his style
is going to win.
Going to win.
Yes.
And last night, it was evident that the Panthers drugged the Oilers into the alley for a bar fight, and the Oilers were not familiar. It doesn't mean they're not.
But they went.
But it doesn't mean they're not willing to engage.
Why would you go? Like you got to be smarter and say, I see what you're trying to do. You're trying to fight me in the alley. I'm not a fighter. Let me go this way.
Oh, you're talking about the game. They're talking to me. I was like,
I
really didn't invite you out to the alley.
Nah, not you. I'm talking about the Oilers talking to the Panthers.
But that's okay. So
they followed them into the alley and got beat the hell up.
That's leadership, right? So the coach last night. So Chris Knobloch has a big task now because he has to act like last night never happened. Because that's what you do in the playoffs. Oh, we park it. Can't bring that game back. If you lose by 10 goals, you lose by 1, doesn't matter. It's just a game. That's all that matters. But it's greater than that. And so he's got to get together with McDavid, Draisaitl, Evan Bouchard, Jake Wallman, who's lost his freaking mind, who thinks he's an NHL tough guy all of a sudden, instead of skating and moving the puck the way he can. He's got to get everybody back on board to playing speed, skill. Every whistle, get the hell out. Like I remember when I was with the Red Wings, okay? We had so much skill. And every team we played, you know what their strategy was? Well, we're going to rough it up. We're going to run these guys out of the building. And every team that we played against usually lost because the guys were smart enough. They wouldn't get baited. As soon as the whistle goes, skate away. Play in between the whistles. Right. And all that means is while the play is going on, you're frustrating the other team. You're finishing your hits. You're blocking the shots. The whistle goes, skate away. Unless you're going to fight.
Right.
If you're going to fight, then have at it. But if you're not, never mind this scrums, face wash, headlock, grabbing. No. Get out. If I'm the Oilers, that's what I'm doing. I'm initiating, and I'm not retaliating.
Right.
Then you try. Then maybe Marchand takes a dumb one. Then maybe Kachuk does something stupid. Then maybe Bennett does something, and you get them out of their discipline zone. And then you score on the power play. And now you got something if you're Edmonton.
Speaking of alley fights, I saw this documentary once, Anthony, of this young, frail man named Steve. And he was getting beat up in an alley. And he looked at that bully and he said, I can do this all day. Guess what that guy did?
Crunch them some more.
Saved the world multiple times.
Yeah. Then grew older with his honey.
He had to go back in time. Different universe, multiverse.
Sure. But the bottom line is he did.
He saved the world multiple times.
And
I think Connor McDavid is going to save the Oilers and win the Stanley Cup. Carey, it's only 3 games. There's a lot of time left.
Now that
I just gave your team the answers to the test, Marshy. Send them the damn audio.
I can do this all day, Anthony.
That young boy had friends.
Did he?
Yeah, one of them turned on him for a little bit.
Yeah, it got hairy. Yeah.
Did.
But that other good friend was brainwashed. I mean, there's nothing he could do.
He was. Like, what are you going to do about it?
What are you talking about? I don't know. They watch this dirty stuff.
Hey, we're talking about hockey here. Jeez.
What are they talking about?
No, you're not.
Talking about the Stanley Cup.
When do the Cardinals need to pick a lane, guys? When do they need to pick a lane?
Now.
Who?
Cardinals.
Oh.
Carey says now.
Ahora.
Marsh says now. Jamie and I said there's multiple lanes that you can go through.
You can, in fact, cut people
Bob
off.
And weave through everywhere.
Bob and weave.
And then give the finger to your coworker.
Yeah.
That's next on 101 ESPN. Fastlane on 101 ESPN 507. Your time check is brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler with Andrew Marsh, Carey Davis, and Jamie Rivers. I'm Anthony Stalter from ESPN. What they need to do at the deadline. So ESPN put together an article in which every team was discussed in terms of what they need to do at the deadline. This is what ESPN said the Cardinals need to do. Pick a lane. And as many people as noted on the text line or in the snake pit, they need to choose the fast lane. No doubt about it.
Oh, no question.
The Cardinals have exceeded their middling expectations and are well positioned to make a real push for the playoffs, writes ESPN. Still, they are at best a 50-50 candidate to play into October. What does that mean for the kinda sorta quick rebuild the Cardinals kinda sorta entered over the winter?
It means just stay the course. Just stay the course. I don't think the Cardinals, there's always these ultimatums, right? Well, you got to go for it. You got to buy or you got to sell.
Do you know why?
Why?
Because we had to fill the airwaves, really, or something.
Okay. I was talking about, I thought there was like a rule of thumb.
No.
No, but there isn't. Like, a proper rebuild is once you get a good, solid foundation. And I would consider what the Cardinals have right now as just a solid foundation. It's not a dream home yet. It's not the mansion you've always wanted, but you've got a nice foundation. So nice to build upon that. I don't know what the problem is, why there has to be a buy or sell. I don't get that theory. I think that if your team's improved from the season before, which it has, in pretty much all areas, to be honest. Maybe not as much pop in the lineup as far as home runs are concerned, but your offense is better overall. Your rotation is better. Your bullpen has been better. A little bit of a hiccup at the start of the season, but since then, recently a little hiccup, but overall, it's been better. I don't understand why you got to pick a lane. How about you just stay in the one you're in? You don't need the slow lane or the fast lane. You're doing just fine in the middle lane. You're making good time. You're getting from A to B, and then when the time is right, when you have to pass, you get in the fast lane, go around the opponent. Time's not yet.
Who are you?
I think
this isn't the Jamie Rivers that flew past Carey Davis and flicked him off.
Not the same
no,
way.
but that was that was the Philadelphia Phillies. They just said, screw it. We're going to spend a lot of money, go fast, and do what we have to do.
That's what he did.
Yeah.
Thought it was right, too.
It was pretty good.
It was funny.
Carey, you were saying?
I think I think you have to make a decision in order to get into that fast lane, as you said, Jamie, and go past, right? I think if you're staying on this course, on this path, I think that's what we're seeing. I think we've seen kind of this team be really good, and then at times you're like, what the expectation is, it can be up and down. You had a really good May. You had a really bad April. You've had a really good series versus the LA Dodgers, and then you had a not-so-good series against the Kansas City Royals. And then this series starts out where you're finding a way to get back into it and eventually lose. So, for me, not having a lane or not knowing what the real destination is, I think that's part of the problem that they're going to have, or that they are having now. I don't think they know what the destination is or how they're going to get there. So what lane do you get in? Do you get in the lane where you slow all the way down and say, all right, we're gonna sell off these pieces, and then next year we can get into the fast lane. Oh, you know what? The hell with it. We're jumping into the fast lane, and then you get in the dang on wreck because you ain't ready to drive that fast. So for me, it's figuring out which alley or which avenue is the most important for them. You said keep one eye. You try to keep one eye in the middle lane and one eye on the fast lane, Anthony. You don't see the car speeding by you, Just going back to your analogy earlier where you had two eyes in two different places. Don't think that's possible.
Keep both eyes on the road.
At all times. 10 and 2.
And buckle up.
I don't know if 10 and 2 is a thing.
No, that's the thing.
It's more like
10 and 2.
9 and 3.
Is it 9 and 3?
I mean,
it's 10 and 2. 10 and 2.
Yeah, but
you don't want 9 and 3.
I never understood the 10 and 2. It's an uncomfortable hand position.
Try it again, Jamie. Go ahead, 10 and 2.
I'm there right now. It's not good.
Just re-grab the wheel, though.
No. You know what?
I think you.
I know what you're doing.
You might like it better.
I don't like it
if you try it again.
No.
At 10 and 2.
Nope. Not going there.
Is the worst possible scenario the Cardinals, and this is a Mo thing. Mo's a big fan of this.
Be patient.
No. I think I know what you're going to say.
Worst thing is they don't do anything.
And then they don't make the playoffs.
They sit.
And you still don't make the playoffs.
Right, but beyond what could happen.
I think the worst
MLB
scenario
trade deadline.
is
He goes, you know what? I don't really know, and then doesn't do anything.
I think that's the worst scenario if you do that and you don't make the playoffs, because then you wasted. Similar to what I felt like last year, you wasted an opportunity because we were in a similar situation last year.
Really
We were.
Nah, I really weren't.
You were. You heard.
At this point, you're hanging on for dear life.
Last year, we were further along last year, where the people are talking. Oh, we're right in there in the wild card. We still got a chance. Why would you trade
Did
at
it
the
feel
deadline?
the same though, Carey?
We're not in August yet. So I holler at me in August.
Well, it was a trade deadline.
That's what I'm saying. When we got to August, that's the conversation that they were having. Late July, early August. Oh, we're right there. We shouldn't do anything. Yes, you got your hand up, Anthony.
So is it fair?
He has his hand up.
Now it's up.
Is it fair to say then, in all seriousness, whether they add or they sit at the deadline, they have to make the playoffs?
I don't think they have to.
Yes.
I'm with Carey on this.
Yes.
You think they have to make the playoffs?
If
you
they
stand pat,
sit at the deadline and not do anything, or they add,
all right.
Hell yes.
You better make the playoffs.
I heard you.
Sorry.
What are you yelling at me for?
Because he's very passionate about it.
He's staring at me.
I know, because you weren't on board.
I didn't understand the question, just like earlier in the Gauntlet, okay? Off my freaking back.
He had to put his glasses on so he could hear us.
You know what? I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I put my glasses on so I can hear. I put my earbuds in when I need to read. It's it's terrible.
He put his glasses on, then he said, "Oh, yeah, I got you."
And the other day, I was like, it was a commercial break, and I looked to read my phone. I put my earbuds in. I'm like, why am I doing that? Just stupidity. I don't get it.
I do stuff like that, too, though. Sometimes I'll be looking at the kids, and I know what I want to say, and it's just the words. I'm like, Madeline, will you get the
whatchamacallit?
The thing. And she's like,
I don't know what that is.
I don't know what you mean.
That happens to me.
You just get it. Just get it.
Not unprovoked, like you. But I'll start to say something, and then one of the kids will blurt something, and I'm like, I get diverted, and I come back, and I'm like,
totally.
I'm like, stop talking. I can't remember. Come back in 5 minutes. I'll remember what the hell I was going to tell you.
I was trying to make the kids like lunches and stuff like that for a camp today, and I was going to tell Lincoln something, and Lincoln I got to tell 14 times because he's 3. Mm-hmm. And Killian, as I'm talking, comes over, and he's like, hey, Dad, can you tape up my fingers? No, we were throwing the football around the other day, and
he break his fingers?
Jammed one of his.
How hard did you throw the damn ball?
He likes going deep.
What do you think, you're Michael Vick?
Throw a short.
You know how many fingers Michael Vick broke? Don't worry about it, son.
Just saying.
We'll just tape them together.
But I'm like,
what's wrong with you?
Sorry, buddy. All we do is tape it. I told him then.
Yank it back into place?
No, of course not. No, I didn't. No,
you got issues.
You know what, Jamie? You're missing the point here. The point is, I was trying to, have some camaraderie here.
Yeah. With me?
And yes. Like I know what you're going through, brother. Here's my scenario.
I'm just concerned about the health and welfare of your child.
Mm-hmm. Look, he had a broken wrist for 2 days, and I didn't take him in because I thought he was faking. Other than that, we're good.
Anthony was Peyton Manning in the United Way SNL skit.
You're not alone.
I was. Yeah.
Get open.
Haas had a broken foot for like a week and a half.
True story.
He kept telling me, Dad, I think my foot's broken. I'm like, oh, your foot's broken. Get back out of there. It's not. It's just a bruise. I've had this before. I take him into the doctor. A buddy of mine takes an x-ray. 2 minutes later, he's like, yeah, Riff, it's broken. Oh, no. He's like, yeah, your kid's been playing a broken foot for a week and a half.
Oh, you should have told me.
Oh, it felt terrible.
Jamie told me that story right after I got off the phone
to make you feel better.
with Kristen.
Yeah.
So Killian was playing a soccer game on a Saturday morning, and I saw him he's holding his wrist out on the field. I'm like, shake it off, buddy. You're fine. Let's go. Come on.
You don't need a wrist to play soccer.
Exactly. You run around. You're good. And his coach even brought him up to me afterwards. He's like, hey, I don't really know. He's holding the wrist. And I'm like, he's fine. He's a tough kid. He'll be good. Go home. Kristen's like, I'm going to call the doctor or the line or whatever because it's on a weekend. And I'm like, Kristen, he's fine. Like, I've seen this before. He gets hurt, and then it's a big deal. He's going to be good, right?
Yeah.
So later that night, he's like, yeah, no, I'm good. I'm fine. I'm like, see?
He just want to make his dad proud.
Good. Yeah. Sunday morning, he wakes up. He still holds a hole in the wrist. I'm like, no, he's fine. I know what I'm doing. Like I'm some doctor or whatever. Monday comes around. Kristen texts me. She's like, I think I'm going to pull him from school and take him to the doctor. I'm like, Kristen, that is unnecessary. The kid is fine. She takes him to the doctor. She calls me. She's like, what do you think? I go, nah, like he's probably bruised it. No, the wrist is broken, Anthony.
It's not funny.
2 full days. 2 full days, my man walking around.
I made my kid play in a hockey tournament with a broken foot. It just feels crappy in your skates, son. It's fine.
It'll be fine.
Well, once it gets in your skate, it'll be better.
Yeah.
He's like Nemo out there dragging the foot. And I'm like, what the hell? And then find out it's broken. I was like, oh, no.
Felt terrible.
Brutal.
Dr. Stalter to the ER, please.
Yeah.
Dr. Stalter.
Now I'm like, you all right, buddy? It's probably broke. Let's take a
day off.
Take it to the doctor. All right. It's a Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. The 2024 NFL Draft featured a bunch of first-round quarterbacks. I was looking at an article today that was talking about they had questions for each of the second-year quarterbacks. My question is, do you think that draft will decide the fate of the NFC? I'll explain next on 101 ESPN. It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. I was reading through an ESPN.com article about the NFL quarterbacks that are heading into their second year. And most of the quarterbacks are in the NFC. You've got Jaden Daniels with Washington heading into his second year. Caleb Williams heading into his second year. Michael Penix technically heading into his second year, although he only played 3 games. So, for the first 10 or so games, he's still going to kind of be a rookie. But those quarterbacks are all in the NFC. J.J. McCarthy, of course, of Marsh's Minnesota Vikings. Unknown there. He's entering his second year, but he'll essentially be a rookie as well. And then Spencer Rattler might start for the Saints, and he was actually selected in that same round, or that same draft, excuse me. My question to you guys is, do you think that the 2024 drafts could decide the fate of the NFC? And the reason why I ask that is Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, to a lesser extent, Justin Herbert, and actually, you know what? Not even to a lesser extent, but C.J. Stroud. We have there has been a fascinating storyline after storyline in the AFC. Less so in the NFC because I think a lot of those quarterbacks have been kind of aging.
Yeah.
Do you think that this draft has a chance to decide the fate of the NFC in the same breath as we just discussed with the AFC?
I don't know if it's this year that takes place, but maybe in a couple of. Jaden Daniels looks like a guy that is going to be competing for NFC championships and putting his team in a position to make it to the Super Bowl for years to come. He had an outstanding rookie year and came up short to the Philadelphia Eagles, but I think he's a player that you watch and say this kid can be really good for years to come as long as they continue to build around him and allow him to grow and mature in the way that he needs to. Looking at I don't know what Michael Penix is. I have no clue. I think he's going to be good. You and I thought he was. Well, he's a human being, Anthony. He's a quarterback,
lefty,
black kid named Michael that plays for the Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah,
it worked out well for the last one.
Wrong.
Oh boy,
there's some things went wrong, but
keep
that's
the
okay.
feet moving, Carey.
So I don't know what Penix is. I have no clue, but I do think, and I don't know what J.J. McCarthy is. We haven't seen either one of those guys play a full season or even a couple of games, having them under their belt, 5 to 6 games to really know who they are, what they are. Jaden Daniels, for me, is the one that stands out the most because I think he's going to, like I said, take the next step and continue to go further. Caleb Williams, I don't know. But I was listening to Colin Cowherd on the way in earlier today, and he was talking about how Caleb Williams, his maturation, or maybe that lack thereof, his last year at USC and his first year with the Bears. I guess there were reports that there was an incident at practice where he couldn't get the play in because he couldn't regurgitate what Ben Johnson had told him, and Ben Johnson told him, "Figure it the hell out. I can't help you." Took a delay of game, 5-yard penalty. Like, these are things that teach you in practice that prepare you for game-like situations. So I think he's going to be fine if he can find that thing that allows him to utilize his skill set along with the quarterback, an offensive coordinator / head coach who understands offense in the manner that Ben Johnson does. But the main with that group you just named is really for me just Jaden Daniels. And the other guys, it's kind of a wait and see because I have no clue what they are yet.
And I think it's exciting for that exact reason. Right there. I think it's going to be a lot of fun to watch. When you look at just the NFC overall, Jaden Daniels certainly jumps off the page. J.J. McCarthy, Caleb Williams. I mean, Jordan Love is established, but he's still a young quarterback. And you get into the Carolina Panthers. You get into some of
Bryce Young. Bryce Young played very well in the second half last year.
The potential of multiple teams, like if J.J. McCarthy, just think about it for a second. If J.J. McCarthy can figure it out to a certain level, with Kevin O'Connell as the head coach, that changes what the Vikings could be. Yeah. It just does, because they went 14-3 with Sam Darnold. I'm not saying that J.J. McCarthy is as good as Sam Darnold, but at some point when you look at it, you got to go, he's got to be pretty close. Like, Sam Darnold's not, like, he was a high pick, and then he disappeared for a number of years. And now, under Kevin O'Connell, he turned into this, like, all-star until the end of the season, of course. But still, he played above expectations, in my opinion, at least. And when you look at Caleb Williams, he had nothing to work with in Chicago as far as, like, the offensive line, this coaching, the OC, all that stuff. It was like
the coaching was rough.
Coaching's rough. Now he's got Ben Johnson, who turned the Lions and Jared Goff around completely, turned them into an offensive juggernaut. What does it look like for Chicago now in that division? So I think there's a lot of interesting possibilities, but a lot of uncertainties too.
I think. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, J.J. McCarthy, his betting total for the amount of touchdowns that he will throw this upcoming season is set, I believe, at over 25.5, and then the best odds are 24.5. And that's more than, let's see here, Drake May, Dak Prescott, Caleb Williams, C.J. Stroud, Jordan Love, Matthew Stafford, Justin Herbert.
Wow.
Kyler Murray, Bo Nix, Bryce Young, Cam Ward, Brock Purdy, Geno Smith, Jalen Hurts.
That's a pretty big number.
Sam Darnold, Justin
24
Fields. Yeah, 24.5. More than Jaden
For a
Daniels.
kid that we haven't seen yet, that's a high number.
I think that's the Kevin O'Connell factor.
I think so too. So to Jamie's point, Carey, I don't disagree with you. They're question marks, and I think Jamie, you're also kind of suggesting, hey, they're question marks. But to Jamie's point, there is some excitement with all of them. Like Caleb Williams being matched with Ben Johnson and the work that the Bears have done in the offseason, last couple of off seasons, in fact, to surround the quarterback with more weapons and, more importantly, build the offensive line up. So the Bears, on paper, are already better. So that makes Caleb Williams' situation interesting. J.J. McCarthy, as Jamie noted, being paired with Kevin O'Connell is interesting. Michael Penix, even for just the 3 games that he played, they're already talking about him because he played so much football in college, being way ahead of it. He gets it. He understands it. Like I was watching somebody break down his film, and the way he's moving linebackers, even at such a young age in the NFL. He's got a rocket for an arm. You know, he's somebody that could hit right away. There's some excitement. Jaden Daniels speaks for himself.
Oh, yeah.
So I think that while there's certainly questions with all these guys, they're all unknowns. Full stop on that. There's a lot of intrigue here, and I wonder if a couple of these guys hit, if we're not talking about the NFC being as exciting as the AFC has been over the years with those top quarterbacks. Either
it could
way,
very well end up like the AFC, like with all these young guys maturing at the same time. It could be a lot of fun for years to come.
Absolutely. Either way, the quarterback floor has been greatly raised in the NFL over the years.
Over the last 5 years. Like it has, and that's what we were talking about that with Shador, why no teams could draft him or would draft him. Essentially, every team has their quarterback. There's only a couple of teams that needed a quarterback. Cam Ward went first.
Right.
The Titans were off the board.
Yep.
The Giants, they got 3 quarterbacks now, but and 2 of them already have experience playing quarterback in Russell and Jameis, and then they drafted Jackson Dart. So I think the quarterback room throughout the NFL is pretty much solidified, the most that we've seen in a very long time, with guys that you know are the day one starters. It's not going to be a lot of quarterback competitions in training camp around the NFL. Teams are going to go into the training camp knowing who their guy is, and they're going to be ready to roll. So I agree. That part has shifted.
Yeah, the floor's risen.
Yep.
Yeah, it's. I mean, even Geno Smith's not bad. Like Geno Smith is a decent quarterback for the Raiders. You basically have the garbage the Giants and Browns offer, and then
everybody else.
It's really
good.
Yeah. All right, it's Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Beat the streak, bet the board next.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. The Cardinals take on the Toronto Blue Jays tonight. Miles Michaelis on the mound, going up against Chris Bassett. First pitch is at 6:45. If you missed anything from today's show, make sure you go to 101ESPN.com or check out the free Dobbs Tire and Auto Center's 101 ESPN mobile app. Just head to the podcast page and you'll find all of our shows there. And it's all brought to you by the Schaefer Door Company. We have Beat the Streak and Bet the Board coming up next. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, a Daikin heating and air conditioning dealer.
I want to hit baseballs.
All of my successes depend on me.
You're ready to hit.
The hits just keep on coming.
And his first big league hit is a bullet up the middle.
Fastlane at 101 ESPN. Let's bring back Justin for Beat the Streak. What's up, Justin?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Not much. Appreciate you joining us again. Marsh, what's the latest streaks for everybody?
All right, let's take a look at these streaks, gentlemen. I know one streak that came to a close.
Yeah, me too.
That was Jamie's streak. He had Lars Nootbaar.
Why do you think I want him out of the lineup?
Oh, now it makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes a lot of sense now.
I had skin in the game, Anthony.
Yeah.
Carey Davis leads all of us with 7. That is Carey's current streak. Anthony, you have a streak of 4. Justin has a streak of 4. And I have a streak of 4.
4 is the number.
I thought 7 was the number.
Boy, Carey, you are...
Depends where you're at in the country.
You're rolling right now, man.
Well, I had I think a 10-game streak going on, and I don't know who I picked.
Carey, don't worry about the past.
What was that, 7
Focus in the present.
Carey, you had a 10...
One eye.
Yeah, your streak was at 10, and seems to be a thing here. Lars Nootbaar was the one that broke it.
Oh, good thing he's not in the lineup today.
Thank goodness.
For us, not for him. I'm going to go back with old Donnie.
Yeah.
Brendan Donovan.
Go leadoff hitter.
He should be.
Should be.
Okay.
According to Jamie.
All right, CD, Donovan. Justin.
All right, guys, I'm going to go Springer.
Jerry?
George. No, George.
Oh.
Jerry. Different Jerry. This is
Did I ever tell you I was on the Jerry Springer show once?
Were you?
Yeah. True story. Not me personally, like on the panel.
You should have been.
The entire hockey team went to a Jerry Springer show.
Nice.
It was pretty awesome. We got to ask questions, and I had a pretty good chirp, but I'm not going to say it now because it was Jerry Springer-esque and safe for radio.
Fair. Marsh, would you like to go?
Sure.
All right.
Why not? How about Mason Wynn, who is leading off tonight? Let's go with Mason Wynn as he gets a hit tonight and maybe takes over that leadoff spot for good.
Back where he belongs, eh, Marshy?
Okay.
The shortstops typically lead off, according to Jamie.
Yeah, they should.
Yeah,
they
sure,
should. In most states, they do.
All right. I'm going to take Nolan Arenado to get a base hit tonight.
Oh, boy, you guys.
Doing well? Is that what you're going to say?
Give me... Is it me?
Yeah.
Give me that little croissant. Ivan Herrera.
Hey, you doubling down?
Yeah, I am, Carey. I like to cheer for my own guys.
All right.
I was going to say take Contreras, but I don't want to cheer for you.
Ah, okay.
Ouch.
It's okay.
Justin, good luck to you, man.
All right, thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Good show today.
Thank you,
sir.
We'll
Thanks,
see
Justin.
Yeah.
From Beat the Streak to Bet the Board. Okay. We all hit last night. So the order remains the same. Marsh, you lead us off, then me, then Jamie, then CD.
All right, I'm going back to the double plays, gentlemen.
Oh!
Give me the New York Mets to turn one double play tonight.
The New York Metropolitans, as they host
The Washington Nationals.
The Washington Walgreens.
Yes, the Walgreens.
Minus 115.
All right, unlike Jamie, who took the Cubs once, I'm going to go against the Cubs. Give me the Phillies tonight.
That's what I was going to pick.
Give me the Philadelphia Phillies. Now, have the Phillies been pure hot garbage of late?
They've won one in a row, though,
they
Anthony.
have. But they won last night against the Cubs, and they're going to get rolling a little bit. So give me the Phillies minus 110.
Dang you.
Against the Cubs. Jamie.
Me. Well, you just took my game, but I did have a backup because I thought you might go there, or I thought somebody might go there. Give me the New York Mets on the money line. Minus 150 against the Walgreens.
Wow, the New York Metropolitans.
Yep.
You guys are all meted up.
Yep.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for verifying.
I could tell you didn't trust what I was saying.
No. Trust but verify.
I know. I just verified it for you.
I'm going to go with Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. 47 and a half. Oh, I'm sorry. Plus 47. Points, rebounds, and assists.
Sounds good.
What are you doing?
It sounds good.
Yeah.
That's your pick tonight?
It's a hell of a pick, Carey.
Hell of a pick.
What do you got? What did I miss? Huh?
Nothing. You
guys got on
locked
here?
in?
You locked that in?
No, hell no. Wait. What are you doing? Huh?
That's fine.
That's a great pick.
That's a great pick.
We got to move on. You got to lock it in.
I don't like what you all are doing here.
I just feel free to lock it in. We'll be good. We'll move on.
We can get on to the next segment.
All right.
All right, we got to go to the next segment. If we go there, it's locked in.
Lock it in?
All right.
No?
Don't lock it in.
What happened?
Oh,
Don't lock
Is
it in.
Shea not playing?
No, he's playing. He's just,
they play tomorrow.
there you go. Yeah, we're not going to do that to Carey. We're just not.
Did it to you. I didn't do it.
Then I'm going to be the bigger person. I'm going to be the bigger person then, okay?
You guys are sick.
It ends today.
Is that a short thing?
What?
I wouldn't take that, Carey.
Short thing.
You said you're going to be the bigger person.
Almost the same height.
Yeah. No, you're not. You're taller than him, Anthony. I don't like you doing that.
What are you, Carey? 5'11"?
5'10".
5'10"?
Yeah.
All right, well,
You knew. Stop. You knew.
I gotta find something else. I don't have anything.
Jamie, come on. Hey, while he's doing that, 101 ESPN.
People fight in church.
101 ESPN has your chance to meet Adam Wainwright at this year's Big League Bash at the Factory on July 27th. You could win 2 tickets to the Big League Bash featuring Adam Wainwright in concert along with appearances from Cardinals players and Fredbird and more. All to support Big League Impact. Plus, our winner and guest will receive 2 passes to meet Wayno prior to the show. Tickets for the Big League Bash, supported by Community American Credit Union, are on sale now. Find all the details and that chance to win free tickets for the Big League Bash and meet and greet passes to meet Adam Wainwright right now at 101ESPN.com or your 101 ESPN mobile app. Go ahead, Carey.
Pete Crow Armstrong, 1.5 hits, runs, RBI.
There you go.
140.
There you have it.
Thank you, Jamie. That board got me too. I didn't know they were playing tonight.
I didn't have a problem with the board.
They were playing.
That was Marshy.
No, I said the board got me as well.
Yeah. Claim 2 today.
Yep, it did. That board has been vicious.
I don't know what today is. Clearly.
Where are we? What we learned, 3 stars of the day, all next on 101 ESPN.
Cheap, fun. Let's get dirty. I know I do with my friends over at Dirt Cheap, and why wouldn't I? They've got great deals on all of your favorite beverages. Listen to these summer savings right now. Busch Light, Modelo Corona, High Noons, Cutwater, Twisted Tea, Tito's, and Natty Lights. All of those on special right now over at Dirt Cheap. Listen, the grad party's coming up. You've got the beautiful weather. Maybe you got a pool. Maybe your neighbor has a pool. You want to sit outside. You want to relax, enjoy the weather. It's a float trip. What better way to load up for a float trip than heading over to Dirt Cheap and picking up your favorite beverages? And let's not be fooled by the words Dirt Cheap. That is the prices, not the product. I get all of my beverages over at Dirt Cheap. Why? Because one, it's a great price. Two, they have great inventory. Three, the customer service is absolutely fantastic. They've also got the Dirt Cheap Rewards app where you can start saving immediately. Every time you go in there, you earn money back. You're going to love it. And Dirt Cheap expanding now. More locations: Fredericktown, Washington, Hillsboro, and a new location coming soon to Wentzville. Don't forget about their curbside pickup, their drive-through, and delivery. All of that available over at Dirt Cheap. So please visit your one-stop party shop at Dirt Cheap. But remember to have fun, but be careful out there, and visit cheapcheapfunfun.com.
If you missed anything from today's show, you can always download the Fast Lane podcast, available at 101ESPN.com or on your Dobbs Tire and Auto Center's 101 ESPN mobile app. All the podcasts, of course, brought to you by Shape Door Company. Time to find out what everybody learned today. Starting off with our guy, Andrew Marsh.
Guys, I learned that the Steelers actually didn't want Aaron Rodgers. He kind of just fell in their lap.
Lucky to
Some
have
of the
him.
best things in the world fall into your lap.
Huh.
Just saying.
Some of those things cost a lot of money, too.
Some do.
Well, this one did, too, with Aaron Rodgers. Is 14
$13 million.
I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Carey, what'd you learn today?
I learned that even though I'm in last place in Bet the Board, these two want me to fail even more.
What?
Yeah.
Some call it
Lock it in. Lock it in. Lock it in. You lock
killer
it in.
instinct.
You remember that.
Oh, you remember that. Who the hell? Polishing up your halo again. Giving me the Seattle or the Oakland Athletics or whatever the hell you gave me the one night.
I wasn't here for
Whatever.
That was me.
That was
You
him.
probably called him and told him to.
Probably.
I see what you've done to Anthony before, too.
It's rough,
He
man.
gave me the Rockies.
I'm not okay with it.
And
they won.
The Athletics-
You gotta-
You're
the Athletics
welcome.
didn't win?
No.
The A's didn't win?
No, they got pumped.
Hey, speaking of the A's, did you see that catch yesterday by
beautiful.
Denzel Clark?
Over the wall.
Oh, my gosh.
Is that it right there?
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Perfect time.
He won't be an A much longer.
That's incredible. They just showed it on TV right before Marsh said it.
I had no
Or
idea.
right after Marsh said it. Yeah.
That's a good catch.
That was a great catch.
All right,
Jamie, what'd you learn?
I learned today that Anthony Stalter has exceptional muscle control, where he can keep one eye on the prize and one eye on the current team.
Yeah. One eye in the present, one eye in the future.
Yeah, and his eyes are going everywhere. And I learned that it's quite the talent.
Absolutely.
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
I learned that Jamie Rivers still does appreciate having your hands 10 to 2 on that wheel.
I do.
Got to keep them
Yeah.
on the wheel.
Yep.
Yep.
Gripping that wheel.
Right
Locked
there.
in.
Locked in. On the wheel. 10 to 2. Yes, sir.
10 and 2.
Yep. All right. Let's go to you, Andrew Marsh.
Yes. Swan, who celebrated his birthday a couple days ago. I believe it was last week. Great show today, guys. It was great to listen to you and just pass the time today. That's from Swan.
Thank you, Swan. We appreciate you being locked in, man.
Yes. Now it's time for our 3 stars of the day.
It's time for the Fast Lane's 3 stars of the day. Presented by Circus Sports Illinois. Sports betting the way it should be.
All right, our 3rd star of the day goes out to Dr. Stalter.
Yes, thank you. Yeah. Although he should not be practicing. That's for sure.
Guys, some people...
Bad diagnoses.
Some people, when they're driving and they need to know where they're going, for some reason they'll turn the radio down. There's also some people, and this is our 2nd star of the day, that when they need to listen, they put on their glasses.
Yes.
Yeah. Shout out
Let's hear it for those people.
You can't hear, you got to read the lips properly.
Yeah. Absolutely.
It's hilarious.
And without a doubt, our 1st star of the day goes out to those 2 eyes with one eye on the future and one eye on the present.
Yes. That's where the Cardinals should be.
You know how that works out.
Yeah. It's going to work out well.
You ain't going to be able to see nothing. Huh? Or hear anything.
It'll be fine.
What could go wrong?
You guys all appreciated that.
Everything could go wrong.
Anthony, you sticking around till 6:45?
6:45?
Yeah.
What's going on at 6:45?
Little soccer.
Right here on 101.
yeah.
Anthony's going to be driving around on purpose.
Yes. Yeah, we've got the U.S. men's national team taking on Switzerland. Pre-game at 6:45. The kickoff at 7.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah, they just
Not a ball drop?
They just kick it to start it. They just kick the ball.
Drop the ball.
It happens eventually.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes. Yeah.
When it doesn't,
We've all dropped. We've all dropped the ball from time to time in our life.
Some people drop meatballs too.
Yeah.
Just one.
It was 2.
Oh, it was just one.
Was it just one?
Was it one?
It was
just one.
It was a large ball.
large ball.
It was a large
of
one.
meat.
Very large one that hit the floor.
I wish there was a camera in there to see that man's face.
I was devastated.
Was disgusting.
Yes, you're right. I wasn't as much devastated as I was furious.
He was disgusted.
That I dropped that large meatball on the floor. That was terrible.
That was a bad
Came
day.
around the corner.
Boom. Hit his shoulder on the door.
Did you come around too fast, though?
Well, he didn't see the door. I think he hit the door.
How did you
No,
not?
I hit the
corner.
I hit the corner of the counter.
Yeah.
You know that space between the counter?
Do you need some curb feelers on your shoes?
I was talking to CD. I was talking to CD. I was having a conversation.
Now I know why the rims are all scratched up on Anthony's car.
Oh, stop it. For Marsh, for these two, I'm Anthony Stalter. See you.